nonsense.
Like that Trump one. It's just
you can't remember that nonsense. Anyways, let's go over. It is 11 o'clock. We all think we're not going to see Klarna open until 12:30 or after 12:30, I should say. But whenever it does, trust me, we'll be all over it, everybody. So have fun. Right. Be ready. It's going to be a good one. Take them away, Joey Options and the Professor.
Oh, it's that time.
Why do I hear myself in my
head? Yeah, I literally just.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Options. I have to take my earpiece off. I don't like the way I sound, man. But we're already going to do it live. We're going to shout out everybody, but we've seen what's been happening lately. The small caps are going buck wild, and we have another one, Assassino, that's in the process of going, yes, buck wild. Halted to the upside at $4.09 is HUDI. Neil, cancel the message that I sent you. It is unblocked now on our system. It was blocked earlier, up 207%, and we're already seeing the theoretical auction price at $4.30. So I'm going to be trying to focus on this one. But let's now shout out everybody. Shout out to All Class Adam. We got Matthew Booth and TH. Shout out to Ben Johnson and Mr. Leahy and Donkey Trader. Mike PD Rider. Shout out to Other Zinc and Hangry Wife. Joni Finn. I think I've never seen that one before, but I did definitely see the next guy, Gorav, the OG and 420 Blood Monster. Gorav. We got Scalp Hunter, BP, Breathe, Tidal Wave, Lane Carter, and Asvon Riviera. Shout out to Dan Gale and Hytham. We got Adara Stan. What's going on? That's weird, bro. All right. Keten, Kumar. We got Packrick, Kirk D, Zeno Beats. We got Andrew Chow. Shout out to Chase the Packs. And Shadow at 7S7, Levi Corbett, Bax, and Ricky G, all joining us this morning. Joseph, good morning, brother.
Officer Ricky.
Pretty Ricky?
No, Officer Ricky.
Oh, my bad.
Do you know Officer Ricky?
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know Skateboard P. I don't know anybody.
I think Adara knows Officer Ricky. Maybe.
She can't hear
She
can't hear you. Right
That's all right. Anyways, guys, what did we do today? Trading a little TQs. Yes, and I am doing something that I don't love. And that is short NVDA, but never mind all of that. Guys, stopped out once here. We add up into this position, get stopped out. We go so heavy, and I just make a horrible, horrible error right there. Otherwise, we would have been off to the races. I get right back in, and then sure enough, we take some off. So yeah, this was a large enough loss. I'm still slightly red on the day, and then I'm doing something that I'm probably going to regret, and that's short NVDA out. But you got to take all the shots, otherwise you're going to be more frustrated than not taking it, right? And it's the exact same thing with Dell. I was talking with some guys about Dell this morning. I got some fill this morning on some shares, and I was looking to grab some contracts on Dell. And sure enough, it hit the price target by about 10-15 minutes after the open. So I didn't get to take advantage of that one. Was looking for a specific price, had the orders out, and unfortunately they didn't get filled. But that's done with. It's on to the next. Let's see if we can get into some more size here on NVDL. Volume weighted average price is going to be the primary target. I would have liked to grab a little bit more up at the top, but I was just struggling to get some fills. So yeah. Break of this 86.60, I think we can head into that next level, and then potentially in there we're going to add to this position. So you can see that's a failed high of the day, but my issue is that we have to keep an eye out on what's going on with Oracle, right? So Oracle just adding a little bit more fuel to the fire. And sure enough, this is one of the best names. It is the best name in the stock market. And shout out to my guy Nonsense. I'm like, I don't know, brother. I don't know if you were going to see 180. You bought those out the money calls, and it's working out for you fantastically. I haven't seen you in the chat here yet today. So congratulations on that, and I hope it continues to do so. Even if I'm short, regardless, I want both parties to win from an intraday standpoint, swing standpoint, whatever it may be. And I just want to touch on Stevenson Etienne's. He was talking about a 22-day losing streak. I've been on some hefty ones myself, brother. Chin up. It's hard. Man. It's hard in the moment, but guess what? Tomorrow's a new day, 9:30, 4 a.m. To be exact. You're going to have a brand new market. Essentially, man. It doesn't mean anything that happened yesterday is irrelevant. Focus, focus, focus. We've all had those tough times. Chin up. Do what you're going to say you were going to do, and that's go over your notes and just kind of regroup yourself.
All right, guys. I'm watching a couple. The first one, obviously, is the one that I led off the show with, HUDI. This one, you never really know how this is going to go, but it feels like it has the right composition for like that CWD squeeze, that QMM squeeze, that octo squeeze. We never really know, obviously, and we've been definitely getting lower and lower maximum percentage movers on the day. Like, for example, we had 5,300 for octo. I think we hit 3,000 yesterday for QMM, a little bit less for CWD. So, you know, I'm not trying to say, you know, they're coming to an end or anything, but maybe we have to temper our expectations. In any event, this one seems like it's got the right formula, so I'm trying to keep my eye on it here. It looks like it will be, at least for the moment, a 10-minute halt. Let me just double check that. No, that's incorrect. So if it is going to open in 5 minutes, it's going to open in 7 seconds. So let's watch. The top, 437, the halt level, 409. So we're already aggressively moving up. Let's see. No, we're not going to open at 40. So it likely will be a 10-minute halt, if not more. It should have opened already. It did not. So we're going to keep tabs on that and keep an eye on the theoretical auction price. Now, as a general rule, the longer a stock remains halted, usually people start selling because they start getting nervous. And so you start seeing the theoretical auction price drop. That exactly did not happen at all yesterday on QMM. In fact, the longer it stayed halted, the higher the theoretical auction price kept going. We all saw that move into 300. It didn't last long, but it got there. And so I don't really want to, you know, use traditional styles of small cap trading, especially with respect to halts, for these ones because they seem to be doing their own thing. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm looking at HUDI. I'm also looking at top, this one over here. This one is breaking through 70%. It just took out $2, so psychological support got removed. The high of the day is 222. Zagging. Let's see, does it hold 2, Joey? If it loses 2, I'm out. Simple as that. So we're going to give this one, oh, can't even, sorry, 1 sec. Punched the wrong keys. Let's see if this one's got the juice to kind of let it loose. Nope, this one's blocked in our system, Joseph Option. So we're going to need to unblock that one. That's okay. The HUDI one got unblocked pretty quickly, so we'll send in a ticket for TOP and see if they can remove that one off the system. But I'm also keeping an eye on a little bit, you know, of a slower mover. And by slower mover, I mean 52%. Yeah, that's kind of what qualifies for a slower mover these days. Yeah. And the thing is about this one, Joey, is it's a holdover from yesterday. So maybe we always joke around and say they're around for a good time, not a long time. But this one, at least for today, is sticking around. PTM, but it has the exact same characteristics that we observed yesterday. As soon as it makes an area high, all hell breaks loose to the downside. Case in point, yesterday's price action, pop up, tank down, pop up, tank down. You see where I'm going with this. We're doing the same thing again. We're doing it live and we're doing it the same. We pop up right into that 775. We drop all the way down. Lose $5. We pop up again, 750, drop all the way down. So this seems to be part of this one's DNA, PTNM. So I'm definitely going to try to trade it with that kind of thinking in mind. We'll keep an eye out on that one. A lot of the other ones that I put initially here for you know, to keep an eye on, WDS, CGTL, they're all breaking down. DGNX looks like hot trash. GLTO below VWAP at the moment and a little bit spready. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be the HUDI show, and then hopefully we'll be able to trade TOP. So those are the ones I'm in right now. I haven't taken any fills quite yet, guys. We're going to keep an eye on these stocks, and we'll weasel in. Tell them what's up, Adira.
Yeah, I have to say, Sharif, HUDI might be my favorite small cap nickname since Seapoop. That's all I have to say.
HUDI. All right, shout out to my man Ozan. Unblock right away. Take it, people, again. I like Ozan, bro. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy.
Yeah, block.
You know what I mean? Yeah, straight to jail. I'm pretty sure he'd be a straight to jail kind of guy.
Remember that? You said Sticking Around. Do you remember that show, Sticking Around?
Why do you always set me up for failure?
Sorry, well, no,
You're constantly setting me up for failure, bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah, all right. Yeah, enough of this.
Yes, sir.
This nonsense stuff here. This NVDA trade, I knew it was going to be a bad idea, and there it goes. It breaks through. So it's just our job to get out of this. Taking a bad loss on that trade. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. But all right, we're still long. I got to get this thing off my chart before I get way overly frustrated. So there it goes. ETHA. I'm not going to try to short this name anymore. The signal was there, so I guess I shouldn't be getting too frustrated. But again, putting me even more slightly red on the session, but there's plenty of time. We got that IPO as well. So there it is. Why was I going short off this specific hammer? But I'm just looking at the tape and everything. So whenever it runs into a supply zone, it just gets bought right up. And Oracle's just going beast mode right now. 317 open all the way up to 344. So beautiful, beautiful look there. Adair, what do you got for us?
Just be aware here, apparently crude oil is popping a bit. I'm seeing, I guess, some commentary here or reports here from the White House saying they're going to be examining a plan that would require large oil refineries to cover a fraction of biofuel blending volumes. Wait for smaller plants. But then we also had a post from Donald Trump on Truth Social about a minute ago, which is potentially geopolitically related. What's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go, exclamation point. That's the whole post. So, I mean, yeah, Trump is on truth, guys. Just be aware. Anything can happen, and apparently crude oil is popping right now. Back to you.
He was not pumped with that. He was trying to, I think, reconcile with Modi last night. He was trying to say that again, Adair?
Yeah, they had that weird bromance back and forth, and then there were talks still about like India tariffs. I saw the report yesterday. Like they're still trying to get other countries to tariff India. So who knows? But they did try to have their little love letters on truth yesterday.
Okay.
All right then. Yeah. Thank you for that. So yeah. Let's go Ethereum again. I'm really small. I'm waiting for this pullback towards the volume weighted average price. Might just even get out of this position so I can just regroup down here if we do get to that specific level, and then maybe we can take an additional leg higher. But NVDA is just continuously grinding. Going to remove this on this side chart here. You're punching keys over there. I can hear it. How's everything going? Oh,
we're killing it. We're killing it. That's what we're doing. All right. We're gonna continue to do it live over here on HUDI. This one's zigging and zagging. We almost had $1 in the money. I think we were 2 cents south of that dollar, but I don't want to take out too much too quickly. I've seen this story before with QMMM. Here we go. We're going to halt up at 516 if we stay like this. False halt back down into 5. Let's see if we advance a little bit more. Okay, so we're in at 27s. It's showing me 16s, 8. Wow, Joseph, into the money we go. Let's take it out at the top, baby. Over $1 in the money. I want to hold into the dang halt, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it properly today. We're not going to mess up, so we're going to keep an eye out on this one. I just need to be able to see exactly what my position size is on the side so that I don't take out too much too quickly. So we have 2 false halts so far, so we definitely need to be looking for that. The high of the day right now, 546. Anything below my entry, I'm flattening out. Probably would halt down before my entry, and it's coming back down there. We're going to flatten out there, Joey.
Ooh,
happy with how we traded this, but we can do a little bit better. Certainly, let's keep an eye on this one as we'll look to get right back in if it holds key technical areas. So the $4 area is an important area because that's a halt level, and we also haven't closed below it. The current bar low is 367. So there is a buyer at the 2/3 of $1. So keep your eye here on HUDI. This one seems like it might be the one. There's also top, but I'm seeing on my side screen that top is dropping aggressively. A lot of indecision at this $4 to $5 level. It looks like HUDI's going to hold down, Joey, but it's still above the 10 EMA and the volume weighted average price. I'm going to keep my eye on this one. Let's see if it can get back into Greensville. Well, it's obviously in Greensville. You know what I mean. Back into the high side. Looks like we will halt down 370. That's a halt level. Pleased with how we've done on this one. We'll look to do a little bit better. Still up 178%. And the volume weighted average price, just to give you guys that data, I think it's like a penny or two just south of that 350 area. So we're going to keep an eye on this one, Joey.
Yeah.
And we'll report back to you on that.
For sure.
And I also want to mention PTNM. It's been spready at times, 7, 8, 9 pennies. Right now, tightening up to 3. It's been holding the 10 EMA like a glove. So I think I want to work into this one. The problem is, oh, wow, it went right as I was debating, right to jail, straight through 7, from 680s to 710, super quick. I want to work into this one, guys. I feel like we do have a price spike. We've seen this one before, a price spike capability here with that. So let's see if we can get a better price right around 7. We're going to do it live right there. What do we get, Joey? We got 7 on the dot. Let's go ahead and post here and see if we can take some beak wetters into the high. So I'm not going to trade this in the same way as HUDI, but what I was saying earlier is I feel this one might have that, that tendency to spike up make a new high, spike right back down. So if that's the case, layer your orders so you can take advantage of the liquidity grabs and keep your eye out on that.
There you go. All right, Ethereum starting to work for us here, guys. We're pretty extended from VWAP, so it'd be probably ideal of me to start taking some profits. And then TQ starting to sell off a little bit here as well, too. So, yeah. Oh, my days.
Unbelievable.
All right, so it's at the lower end of the range. Man, all right, so yeah, there it is, boom, boom. Let's see if we can get that breakup, but if it breaks through VWAP, I got to get out of this and just kind of sit back, regroup, and wait for a good, solid opportunity, because at this point, I'm already down more than half the shutdown, so not good considering we had a solid start to September. Now, as for Apple, I think this is what's really weighing on the market right now. You can see that the TQs aren't doing too much. It's continuously heading lower, which is not good. So any form of a bounce, I think, can help add somewhat of a rally into the Nasdaq. So let's take a look at some of the other big names. Was Microsoft, again, stuck in limbo, not doing too much. Oh, there it goes, eh? All right, yeah, I got to get out of that one.
Okay. Take over?
Yeah, please.
Absolutely. Okay. PTNM is breaking out. So just as we got in, we're in at 7. We wet the beak all the way up to 40. So that price spike that we were thinking that was going to happen manifested. Now, here's the deal. The way this one works is it spikes up and then it comes right back down. Here's that 40 seller again. We can't shake them. We shook them. 42. Then we get the fill. Now we're waiting in the low 50s. So let's pack our patience over here. Let's not get too excited. Seller at 45, 49s, huge seller at 50, getting decimated, Joey. They're getting killed, baby. And I'm absolutely loving it. 60 seller. We're going to wet the beak over here a little bit. Take some more profits on PT and frickin' M. Let's see if this one's got the juice to take out that 791 high, because that is the area high. Let's see if it's keep going over here. We still have shares to take out, so let's go and post a little bit higher. And you know, if I'm waiting in the 60s, exactly where I'm waiting. So we're going to post at 69er and see if we can get into that level there. There is a seller at 60 that we still have to shake. So we're going to keep an eye on this one, guys. And let's see if it takes out that area high. Joseph.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so, okay, so I'm out of TQs. Take a loss on that one. NVDA, we took a loss. We're still sitting in this Ethereum. As soon as it breaks view up, then we'll just hop out of that one as well, too. So patience. I need to wait for a high-quality setup and then go substantially larger and just risk it, right? So I'm at the point where it's like, all right, it's either you get shut down or you make back your whole entire day, and I'm willing to go on either direction. So, yeah, shooters got to shoot, and that's what I like to do. So if you guys are looking at anything specific, please let me know. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the top. All right, yeah, we'll do that in 1 second there, Assassino. We're going to go over the top performing sectors first, and then we're going to take a look right at the visualizer. No issues there. Wow, what is it? Okay, go on now. Go on. Show them what you got.
Oh, I love that. That's a go on, mate.
Go on, mate.
You know what we're going to do, Joey?
What?
You know what we're going to do?
dollar?
We're going to do it, Joey.
Oh, let's go.
All right, so this is the one here right here, guys. I'm very happy with how I executed on this trade. There's that $7 order, and there's the $8 beak wetter. It is $8 on the freaking dot for your friend PTNM. But here comes the reversion. So short sellers, where are you at? Right, this is your move here, short sellers. We've seen it before. $8 hit, we're back down into 7.5. Looks like we're gonna lose 7.5, guys. Here we go as the buyers do step in momentarily, but I've seen this story before with PTNM. Look for the reversion. It's making me look bad here, Joey, because I'm telling everybody look for the reversion. Now it's heading back up.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Wet the beak, says Paul Thomas. We wet it, my friend. We're all done with this trade. Breakout to the high side, so I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. I'll look to set up again at $7, but do not forget, it's the HUDI show. Or it was. HUDI is giving it up in a freaking hurry over here. It is about to lose the volume weighted average price. $3 is where the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 is. If it loses 3, it loses the spot on the side chart. It holds 3, we keep it. Otherwise, nothing to do there. And there is the reversion on PTNM from $8 down to 7 1/3. Do we get a $7 retest? And if we do, are you guys buying at $7? That's initially where I got in for a flat top break. break. Is it as good the second time? Let me know what you guys are thinking about in the chat. We're going to be looking to do more damage on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the tech sector is the top performing, up about 2 1/3 there, guys. We got utilities in second place, up 1%, and then the energy sector up 0.5%. Bottom three, we got the comm service down 1%, healthcare 1 1/5, and then consumer staples 1.5% there. And as for the week, let's see if we've gained in performance. Guess who's leading the way now? Yeah, that's correct. It's the Nasdaq, up 2 1/3 there, guys. SPY sitting in second place, 1.5%, IWM 1 1/3, and then we got the Dow holding on by a thread, only up about 1/3% there. So there it goes. I've been trying to get back into NVDA, it just keeps getting rejected. So yeah, I got to hop out of Ethereum as well too, as everything's starting to come back in towards the volume weighted average price. So yeah, I just been trying to get in. Happened with this initial entry as well too. It's just like, okay, I widen my spread, doesn't get a fill, and then I end up chasing, drastically increasing my or decreasing my risk to reward. So if I was in around here, then I don't have to risk as much, but then there, sure enough, boom, you get that move. So just consistently not getting the fill, slightly frustrating. So yeah, let's find something else to find. I know, Sharif, you're killing it right now. The Nasdaq continuing its bleed. Let's see what Apple's been up to. Is it making an additional leg lower? No, it's starting to get somewhat of a small bounce, so not too bad. If we do get it, then I think that's going to be really, really positive for the market. It was holding on relatively well and for quite some time. So if the big boys start to participate once again, I think we'll be doing just fine, Sharif.
HUDI's back, Joseph. HUDI, it just false halted twice. We initiated the halt parameter where it started, leveling out at a max price, and now we're zigging and zagging. The current high of this candle, one moment please, 465. So we know there's a 65 seller, and there it is. The halt parameter is it's not a seller, it's a halt parameter coming in and topping this candle out at 65. So a few more seconds. It feels like it's going to be a false halt though, as it's zigging and zagging with that level 2, and it is a false halt. Once you watch these a lot, you kind of get the feeling. But that false halt only allowed us to stay a little bit longer in the game, right? Because, I don't know exactly how the clock works at the exchange, but it starts counting 5 minutes from some sort of time, and then you can kind of tell when the max price for before the halt parameter comes in, because it starts maxing out at that price. But as you saw, we cleared 65 with the current candle high now 80. So that meant that the halt parameter started from a different clock. It was, again, it's a bit more complicated than that, but let's focus on the trading for now and see if we can kind of weasel into this. So it's a 480 high. Micro pullbacks here are going to be important. I'm just trying to load up the 5-second chart so I can spot said micro pullbacks, but that just takes way too long. All right, so there is a level of support I perceive possibly at 20. Let's see if that area holds. We're down into the mid-teens. Are we going to get buyers stepping up at 20? Let's go ahead and try to take a long over here on this one. Let's see if we can get a nice little price spike up into into the high 50s, possibly low 60s, to see if we can kind of get that going again. We're using the 10 EMA on the 5-second now as a resistance. 420 support, 430 resistance. Let's see if this one has the ability to take out 430, because that's where the 10 EMA is. Got some higher lows, but it's not really clearing it with any distance. Let's see if the buyers are going to step in here. Who's going to win, buyers or sellers? So let's continue to watch. No prints yet. We got a whole bunch of prints there, baby. There we go, right up into the mid-50s, high 50s now. We're doing it freaking live. We're waiting in the 60s. Boom, again, man. There we go. Joey, right into the high side, straight to jail. Let's go again. 505 now. We're going to post. Oh, we ran out of shares, Joey. So anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's all right. Sorry, I'm sending a quick message here. Yeah, it's all right. I'm getting, yeah, so
Assassino,
I'm looking for something. So yeah, if we get a hammer candle close, then I like this for a potential bounce. You can see that NVDA is starting to work out for not us. I'm out of it now. Tried to get in over here, just couldn't get in. No fills. And then sure enough, yeah, you run towards your target. So yeah, I got to figure out what's cracking. But I do like what we're experiencing right there. What? You're buzzing right now.
Raymond hooked it up, baby.
I could have hooked you up, man. You know,
I didn't want to interrupt Joey Options. It's pontificating, my boy.
You know we're stacked in and ready to load. We're ready to get rocking and rolling over here. NVDA, yeah, no shorting. The signals were there. the signals were there, and it gave me another opportunity, and I just couldn't take advantage of it. So, yeah, we'll figure out what's cooking. Again, I like this, but the volume isn't supporting it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we take an additional leg lower. What's my good friend Dell up to? We did some, okay, so nice. So back into there. So there might be another opportunity for me to get back into this name, but it did the move that I was looking for. So just been doing continuous TA on some of these names for swing trades. And sure enough, I like this double bottom. Shreve pointed out that it's holding this resistance level really well. So I'm like, there's so much conviction behind this setup. And I'm kind of frustrated at myself that I didn't get to take full advantage of it. Obviously, you don't want to be too greedy. We did get a little bit, but at the end of the day, execution is key. Regardless, and I've seen somebody say statistics over psychology, but it's so hard to not mix the two. It's just not realistic. If you can phase one of them out a little bit, then you're off on your merry way. But to say that you can phase more or less psychology completely out of the game, I don't know if I personally can, just knowing my personality, to each their own, but I think it's very difficult.
I would have to echo that sentiment 100%. Yeah. Psychology plays a part in the game. To some people more than others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that's just, I guess, part of the characteristics of being human.
Yep.
But don't let this guy's conversation about Dell may lead you to think that he's not up on it, because I saw the account today.
No, but I mean,
I saw it.
Yeah, no, and it's not what I'm getting at. It's just like there was a specific, I wouldn't say, see, that's the thing, you don't want to put on the dollar amount, you just want to execute the trade with as much size as possible, and I didn't get the opportunity to do that, so that's another reason not to be frustrated, right? So I was waiting for a pullback in the morning, I didn't get it, and like right at 4 a.m., I put my orders out last night, I got filled at 4 a.m. this morning, and I'm like, okay, we're on our merry way. We get a pullback into some specific levels. I have the order out on the contracts as well, but it had other plans. It just wanted to go up, and obviously the Oracle news adding a little bit of fuel.
Oh yeah, that added fuel to everybody's fire. Sure. Just ask AVGO.
For sure,
But I want to say something. You and I talked about this yesterday. Yeah. You're always mad as a trader for many reasons. One of those reasons being you don't have as much size, right? Mm-hmm. And so I get it, but you know, it's something that you know very well as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's the thing, right? Like, as a trader, I don't think you're ever really satisfied. Like, we've seen people put on phenomenal trades. You put on a great trade, and in the back of your head, it's like, more. I could have done more. I could have done more. But as Jim Cramer likes to say, bears and bulls can eat, but hogs get slaughtered. And that's just from being greedy, right? So, I like
I've never heard him say that. That's a sick
really?
One. No,
yeah. Hogs get slaughtered. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we put some money in the pocket, and I got to be thankful. And I'm just going to sit here and be thankful.
Raz Gadot. Raz the Goat. Sorry, Raz the Goat. My bad. We were talking about Gal Gadot this morning. That's why I had my mind all Gal Gadoted. But Amazon down on a big positive catalyst, question mark. Yeah, look, brother, when I heard that drone headline as well, I thought that was good news. But the thing is, Zon has been so strong lately. I think it's been taking out some key levels. Let's have a look at Amazon on the daily. So, you know, it stands to reason that we pull back a little bit as people wet their beak on some profits. But yeah, Amazon, it is, Apple is the worst performer on the day in Make 7 World, Amazon second to Apple. Let's have a look at the daily over here. Yeah, we got into all-time highs, brother. That's right near all-time highs. Again, all-time highs came in February of this year when we got into 242. But come on, 240 is basically knocking the door of all-time highs. So people will wet their beak there. The same thing happens with Pan W in and around 200. It goes to 205, 210, sells off, goes back to 160. You pick it up at 160 again. It works its way back into 200. I'm not saying Amazon is Pan W, but this is something characteristic that we've seen with these small cap gappers. Somebody was asking for the theoretical auction price on Klarna. It's still $50, so that bad boy hasn't moved. I don't know if that's good or bad. To me, that's bad, because what we've seen lately is these ones are oversubscribed at the IPO level, and they're well oversubscribed on trading day vis-a-vis the theoretical auction price. We saw this with Circle. We saw this with Figma to a lesser extent. We certainly saw it with, what was that other one? Figma,
Circle,
CoreWeave was the one, Joey. Yeah, you're right. So a little unusual that the top is maintaining that $50 price target, but whatever. I want to bring your attention to this one. I brought your attention to it earlier. I'm going to bring your attention to it again, hopefully here. top on the NQ, halted to the upside at $2.63. It's up 112%. It had a bit of a bull flag consolidation area. I want to say between $1.80 to $2.20. And then up we go, taking out day's highs into 263. The halt time on top is 11:29:55. So we just halted, looks like a minute ago. The earliest this one will be open is 11:34:55. So mark your, set your alarms, do whatever you need to do. The theoretical auction price is basically flat, 263. The tap showing, so that was a halt level as well. I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. This was blocked first under the system, but I think Neil submitted a ticket, so maybe we'll have that unblocked. The same thing happened with HUDI. We were blocked on it earlier, and then probably somebody at Real Trading requested that it get unblocked, and it got unblocked quick as you like, and we were able to execute on it. So hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing on top and give you the look there. Now, speaking of HUDI, it's halted to the downside. Again, at 348, the tap showing 337, so we're likely going to open up a little bit lower. Which is not good, obviously, to be halted to the downside, but we're still above the 10 EMA on the 5, so at least under my system, I still keep an eye on it and trade it possibly as a long. A lot of people have been talking about WDS in the chat, and look, it's the #1 gapper in all the market right now, I think. It's up 553%, but that's one thing to consider. The other thing to consider, obviously, is the chart pattern that's manifesting on the chart. It's got lower highs, Joey, and that to me is not a glowing endorsement to go long until we and if we break through this on a decisive basis. It looks awfully bull flaggish, and we always talk about the fact that no two bull flags are created equal. They all look a little bit different. Variances are normal for that, but it's well off the high. It was about almost an $11 high. It's trading at about 6 2/3 right now. So I will certainly be keeping WDS on the side chart, but for the moment, I'm not going to execute on it. But before we go to Adara for crypto, I just want to let you know PTNM is working again off the 10 EMA. It looks like it wants to take out 8. It's an 817 high. Keep your eye on this one, 72%. Go ahead, Adara.
It's time to talk here about ABTC before we talk about BTC, ABTC American Bitcoin. This is a crypto company here. It's backed by HUT8 and also the sons of Donald Trump. And this one actually the catalyst this morning. Dominari Holdings announcing that they took a nearly 23.2 million share stake in ABTC. So they have roughly 23.2 million shares of the company. That's going to be valued at roughly $171.7 million. This became listed via a special purpose acquisition company merger as of last week. So ABTC only 1 week of trading that already has this nice large stake here taken by Dominari Holdings. So again, ABTC here on watch. Again, that is HUT8 and Donald Trump son related. So let's take a look here at Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin trying to break out here of that bit of resistance I've mentioned here, that 13,400 level that we touched a couple times on the daily chart but weren't able to break above. As of right now, we're actually near, earlier today, we actually broke above that 14,000 level. So let's see if BTC can continue recovering to the upside. We'll take a look here as well at Solana, which is this is the daily chart here. Great uptrend on the daily chart still for Solana with higher highs and higher lows across the board. Ethereum, though, a little bit stagnant on the daily. We had that great push to new all-time highs just below 5,000, but since then, it's been a bit choppier. Let's see if it can try to mimic that direction, the directional move we've seen in Solana. Back to you.
Oh man, Apple is getting. Look at this daily here.
Crushed,
yeah,
bro.
it's getting absolutely crushed, man. Oh my days. Why? What's going on?
Short
with
it,
this?
bro. Just get into that.
Wow.
Man. It looks like it's going back to 215.
Yeah,
there.
that is insane. That is insane.
Look, I'd stay optimistic on this one if it can hold that higher low.
Yeah.
So look at that. No. Go in the middle. Yeah, that area. No. This bad boy right here. Yeah, if it holds that, that would be a good technical buy.
But I mean, with that momentum, brother, that's
ugly,
tough.
bro.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue.
Is that a gap?
It's leading. Yeah, it gaps down, man.
Is that a gap legit, though?
Legit, it gaps down. So,
that's not
wow,
good.
that's not a good look there in AAPL. Raining on today's parade, Oracle parade, but I mean, it's living in its own world right now. So, not too worried about what Oracle is up to. I think that was a great opportunity throughout the day. But Apple, the bearer of bad news. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Come on, Ethereum, you can do it. As I would like to say to my good little buddy Milo, you can do it, buddy. TQQ, let's see if we can get this rocking and rolling. Something maybe going for us, because today has not been going as planned. So there it is, bang, bang. If we break through that, I just got to get out. And then it's going to be a lot of sitting on the hands waiting for some high quality setups. But I do like Ethereum in the crypto space right at the volume weighted average price. What's Bitcoin up to? Nice hammer candle right there. Okay, not doing too much. Maybe we get rocking and rolling on this. Guess what? Your boy's getting involved. So let's see what we got going on with IBIT. Oops, IBIT, as I send it over to my boy, Sharif.
Yeah, so Katina, man, just informing me that the tap on Klarna, it's working its way up, baby. Last time we reported to you guys, it was at 50. It is now up to 52. If you're a newer trader and you're wondering what we're talking about, so Klarna is an IPO, an initial public offering. It goes live today. We never know when. We just typically know from experience a general window. It's typically during our show, up until, let's say, 132. By the latest, we had a little bit of a bet on the floor. Does it open before 12:30 or after 12:30? We'll see. So that's what Klarna is. And it's a specific trade that we take here on the prop floor. If you're wondering how to execute on a stock that's not tradable yet, it's a certain order. I don't know how it works on everybody else's system, but on our system, we have two options. Something called a market on open order or a limit on open order. What is that? So it's basically telling the exchange, as soon as this stock is available for trading, pay or get me in. And then there's two ways, the limit and the market on open. The limit says pay up to, let's just say it's 52, and I tell the computer, pay up to $69. The computer will pay up to $69 for that first opening print. That's the limit on open. But there's also a market on open. So much like a market order, it will pay whatever it can get its hands on, right? And then, that could be good, it could be bad, because you could be fundamentally slipped, right? And they can come right back down. So that's what we're waiting for right now. So typically what we do while we're waiting for it to open is we send limit on open orders. Limit on open orders to tell the exchange, hey, look, we want to get involved as soon as Klarna is available for trading. We want to be involved. So if you're a newer trader, that's what we're talking about. And that's why we keep referencing a chart with no Japanese candlestick bars or any other price action. So that's what's going on there. And for everybody that's obviously very experienced, I'm sorry for you have to go through that, but we always have newer viewers, as you know, and we got to make sure they're apprised of everything. All right, so back into the small cap trading game over here. I'm still keeping my eye on TOP. It looks like this bad boy is going to be a 10-minute halt. If that, in fact, is the case, it will open up at 11:39.55. It's 11:37 on my watch right now, so that's what I'm keeping my eye on. I'd like to be able to weasel into top if it is appropriate to do so. It looks awfully strong. Up over 112%. But do not forget, PTNM, it's still holding technical levels. Now, it has a lot of trouble clearing 8 on a decisive basis, despite the fact that 817 is the high, but the pattern is still very much intact, higher highs and higher lows. We're going to take a pause for a second, and we're going to go to Adair at the big desk.
Here at DoorDash, news coming here from reporter Laura Waxman of the San Francisco Chronicle. She's posting on X that apparently in San Francisco, DoorDash is working to open its first facility for testing deliveries by autonomous drones. So DoorDash reportedly working on autonomous drone deliveries in San Francisco. Get a little bit of a spike here for DASH. In case you missed it earlier this week, they actually had their Deliveroo acquisition approved by the EU or the UK regulatory authorities there. Back to you.
Daryl, all right, let's go. TQ is finally starting to work out for us. Now we're starting to build heavy.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, now we're starting to build heavy into IBIT. Let's see if we can get this bounce, man. We're ready to rock and roll. I told you what, if it breaks this low, it's going to be really, really bad time for me on IBIT. And we might be back in, we might be doing a little paper trading. But hey, that's okay. It happens once in a while. I got to take those shots. Adair, what do you got for us?
So guys, I have more news here. MRK on watch getting a little pop here with a bit of relative volume. Merck scrapping its £1 billion London Drug Research Center in a blow to EU growth. So I guess bad look for the EU, apparently good look for Merck, deciding, I guess, not to work on this £1 billion research center in London. That's being reported by the Financial Times.
Friend Neil is saying the beef is very tasty.
Oh, yeah?
It's like extra tasty.
Jeez, okay.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
He said the opposite.
Ooh, he said it was bad, eh?
Your friend Neil came in with that fire there, bro. Well, that's the way it is.
Tell Joey, what are you saying?
Oh.
Beef is not tasty, dang.
Joseph Options,
on the
top is
Strogie.
open,
Yeah,
baby.
damn.
Let's see if we can, if we're allowed this, I'm just gonna throw an order. Yes, we are now unblocked on top. Top is unblocked for us. Let's see now, it's gonna halt to the downside or fill the halt level. There, down it goes, 250. Where's the halt level at? 234. That's the halt parameter there. Even if it halts here, it's still tradable above the 10, above VWAP. Let's see, I'm not gonna punch into the halt. Yeah, we didn't have that great of a day yesterday. Can't feel that confident, but we're gonna keep an eye out on this one because even though it is down halted, it's still very much in play from a technical sense. 333 high. It just lost $1 minus a penny, Joseph. 333 high, halted at 234. So that's the kind of insanity that comes with trading these small cap gappers. Trade them carefully and trade them wisely. Back to PTNM, into the highs again. We go, Joseph, 809, 817 high. If this candle closes above 8, it will be the first 5-minute candle to close above that $8 area. It already feels like this one could also be a 100% winner easily here, especially if we get super squeezy. Don't forget, PTNM is a holdover from yesterday. So it was already thickly traded yesterday, and it's, again, almost got 10 million shares. Here, Tisha, where have you been, Tisha? It's been small cap season. I've been looking for you in the chat. Welcome back, Tisha. Yeah, we already executed, as you can see there, Tish, on PTNM. Definitely interested in getting back involved in this one. Just got to set up in the right way. To me, the 10 EMA on the 5 is where it's at, Joey.
Where have you been all my life? Shout out to I don't want to set you up there. Anyways, Rihanna. I'm just gonna say.
Where have you been all my life?
Oh, brother. I was about 20 when I was at about 2021 when that song came out.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, me and my friend, we used to go to the club. Remember the club? This is London.
Of course.
Yeah. Me and my buddies.
He
would go
was
there.
21, not 2021. I heard you there.
No. I was at that age.
Of course, I remember This Is London, bro. Are you kidding?
Oh, brother, the amount of ridiculous amount of cash we spent there, just not logical.
It was not cheap.
No.
This Is London was not cheap.
No, it was not at all. And that was before I discovered bottle service. So my friend and I,
worse.
Yeah, would just go there and just spend a ridiculous amount of cash on shots and everything. But anyways, bottle service is this savior
Good memories, Joseph.
of the good old wallet.
It was beside District.
Yeah.
Remember District? District was the big one.
Yeah.
And This Is London was like the boutique club.
Sick, man. Yeah, This Is London was sick. All right, guys, come on, Apple. Start to bounce. This is going to be positive for the market. You can see that the Q's slowly grinding, rejecting VWAP. Anything north of that, we're going to start slowly taking some profits there on that name. And then we're sitting in some IBIT, building really, really heavy. So see if we can get that breakout. Gorf, hopefully that 5-minute candle comes into play. That's going to be fantastic. So boom, building into this position. We'll even add some more if we do get the break. So yeah, let's rock and roll. Things slowly starting to cook up for us. Love that. The money instead of buying stock. Yeah, oh, Rich, buddy, you have no idea. If I knew about that stuff when I was young, and that's why I shout out to Katina, man. He's been doing it for a long time since he was a JIT. So.
Are you talking about
investing in your class? No, instead of like all the money that you
100%.
can get. Yeah.
100%.
Just imagine if I knew about it, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Which is kind of why I asked you the other day. I'm like, did you get into credit card debt in your 20s?
No.
Well, this is exactly what I was spending my money on, like an idiot.
Yeah. Like
especially, you get a couple in you, all of a sudden it's
it doesn't
no
matter,
problem.
right? It's just like, all right, I get paid next Friday anyways, so we'll just blow it all right now. So yeah, that's what we used to do.
God.
So it's funny, before we move on to the market, so my friend and I, we used to work for a car. Like we were about 18 at the time, and we worked for this car manufacturer, and you got paid every week, which was a bonus. And we were young kids, so what we would do is on the Friday we would go blow half our paycheck at the mall, and then go blow the other half on booze, which was obviously not logical at all when you sit back and think about it. But good times.
Yeah, 100%. It was good time. I would do it a little differently.
Oh,
not gonna lie.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I would do it.
Both in the consumption and in the money spent.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
question about it.
There's no question.
All right, guys, I'm continuing to watch here these small cap gappers. PTNM just came into the 10 EMA on the 5, so this might be the buy time right now, guys. This is the 10 EMA, which it's been defending all day. So here's the deal. We're going to get in a very small piece, and I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to give it to the $0.25. All right, so that will be my look there, and that's exactly what we're doing. What price did we get? Move, Sharif, you're blocking my price. Thank you. So there we go. We'll set up at 55, see if we can get that, and then we'll set up also in the mid-60s. So I'm looking for the 10 exponential moving average on PTNM to hold. Holds great. If it doesn't, we'll lose about 15, 20 pennies on the stop out there. It's up 66%. It's had a whole lot of trouble clearing through 8. In fact, the last candle did not clear $8 on a closing basis. And that's what we were talking about. It wicks above $8, no problem, quick as you like, but has a whole lot of trouble clearing it. And there we go. We're printing 65. Now we're waiting in the mid-60s over here. Let's see if we can get that. And oh my goodness, Joseph Wilson, it just keeps on doing it. Happy with this trade. Let's do some more on this one. Let's see if we can get into that $8 area and then hold above that $8 area. Pleased with that one. Also, want to mention top is back open now. It's halted down. It is losing it, and it is losing it very quickly. Joseph, oh my goodness. Down. It's lost the 10 EMA. It's lost VWAP. Oh. This is going to lose its spot on the side chart here. That's only what's left, baby. So TOP, losing it in a freaking hurry. So be careful with this one. And somebody was asking me in the chat earlier, would I trade HUDI again? And I said yes, if it sets up the right way. And it's quickly going to lose its spot on the side chart as well. It's below VWAP, below the 10, and it's about to lose Assassino, the 20 moving average, and in fact has now. This one looks like it's going to be a Christmas tree retracement. Only Santa ain't going to save you from this one, baby. Make sure to trade them carefully.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're all out of the TQs there, right at VWAP, consistently rejecting it, so I can't complain about that one. Small little win. We'll document that. Boom, starting to come back in. Now Bitcoin really aggressively starting to dump. So this might not work out considering how heavy I am in this position. Not good. Probably the second largest position. Yeah, same size. But anyways, let's see if it holds. If it breaks VWAP, then we got to get out of it, Gaurav. I mentioned that I don't love it when the candle is just hovering above VWAP, right? So even though we do have that indecision, we don't have the volume.
Headline. Yep.
Union Pacific CEO claims government views company deal with Norfolk Southern as a success. All right, that's a positive. We'll always take that when the deal works out. That's a happy day, right? So Oracle, major backlog, just raking in the cash. How is it? It almost like forecasted for 4 years, man. That's insane.
It was crazy, Joey. What I saw yesterday for a company that's now closing in on $1 trillion to be up 30%, in the same way that I was surprised that AVGO, at one point anyway, was up 10%. That's almost a $2 trillion company. That's not typically the way they move.
No, it's not how they move at all, brother. And fantastic stuff to see. It's a rarity, no question, but some fantastic stuff. Regardless if they missed on the top and the bottom line, it's just the forecast was just so stellar that they just, boom, it just
Joseph, we just hit $1 trillion, it feels like, on AVGO. Not that long. I think earlier in the year.
Well, I remember Brando was talking about it. He's like, the T Club, AVGO, hit that. And we're like, all right, that just felt like a couple months ago. And then sure enough, what is it, at 1.5 almost now?
1.734. Daryl, weasel in for a second if you have an opportunity with your eidetic memory. Give approximately, Daryl, when did it hit $1 trillion? Broadcom is what I said. Yeah.
Hey, it was the earnings report where it broke 200 for the first time. So that would have been when I was still sitting over there. I would estimate it would have been February or
February. Okay.
April. I think it was February, April, May of earlier this year. I think February. That's my guess.
Fair enough. That's exactly what I was thinking of, Derek. Thank you. Appreciate that. And so to add another 700 billion within one calendar year
is insane.
With far less than a calendar year.
Yeah, we're gonna ask code.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. But we saw it with NVIDIA, Joey. It was nothing that we hadn't seen before.
I was actually wrong. It's December of 24, so it was one earnings report back from
Still less than a calendar year, Adara. Yeah. So I mean, it's still, wow.
Yeah, December. No way,
bro.
December 31st.
It's crazy. 9 months.
Crazy. Yeah.
So 9 months.
Yeah.
Right. So. adds 700
well,
billion.
they're lying, yeah.
Do you think we close at 2 trillion before
By the end of the year?
End of the year.
Oh man,
So they
I don't
have
know.
to add another, say,
man.
250, give or take.
Yeah, I don't
billion.
know, man. That's really tough. That's a tough call, to be honest with you. That's quite a bit of a move.
It is a move, bro.
That's
I mean, everything is a move.
So.
It's up 10% today. I'd love to be able to see what kind of market cap they added just in one day. Like, we know that they added price, but market cap-wise, you have to do the math for that unless there's an automatic way to do it.
It's insane.
It's it's nuts. All right, I'm going back and forth here. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm keeping my eye on top because even though this one did look like it was flushing aggressively, it has recovered, excuse me, somewhat over here. It's above the 10 and above VWAP and above prior area range. It made me look bad because that prior area range, I was going to point out, 220. So momentarily lost 220, but right up into 230 it goes, and it's looking to do more over here. So I don't think this is the area where I get in, because it's a little risky trying to buy a falling knife, right? I'd rather follow the trend and take it to the upside once it shows me that it's established a base here and it has the intention of working its way back into 3. So that's what I'm going to keep my eye on over here. TOP, it's unblocked for us now. We can weasel in. Let's see if this candle can go green and print above the 2.5. There has been a seller here in the low to mid 30s. It spiked up into the 40s, but has had more shorting at that level than a profit taking. You kind of feel as a weird level to want to take profit at, but that's just my guesstimation. So that I'm going to continue to watch top. But PTNM, it might be losing it over here, guys. I'm just trying to find my PTNM chart. It's at the 10 EMA, and it looks like it might lose the 10 EMA here. It's got a 3-candle red setup, barely holding on to that, a third of a dollar to half a dollar at the 10 exponential moving average. So be on the lookout for this one. It does feel like it was setting up for an $8 break and take, a hold of $8, but it hasn't happened quite that way yet, Joey. And last but not least, I want to point out WDLS. I'm really interested in getting in on WDLS, but it's having a whole lot of trouble trying to clear 7. I think if this one clears 7, that would be my move to get in. Clear 7 on a closing basis, right? It's wicked above 7 multiple times in the same way that PTNM is wicking above 8 multiple times but can't close. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. WDLS closing above 7, my invitation to get it.
Beautiful, good stuff there, guys. I'm looking at BTC on the daily. Are we in breakout territory or not? Maybe, possibly. There's some key resistance zones, but you can see there's also a support level that's extremely important that we've rejected here. So that neckline from this double top, or whatever you would like to call it, acting as some key resistance, and we're starting to come back in. So I'm just thinking, is this an opportunity to add if we are in breakout territory, or do I just get out when it does break down? So keeping that in mind, and there goes the TQs starting to cook up as well. It's unfortunate that we're out of it, but it is what it is. 95.08, a little bit more of a scalp mode, I guess, on this name. There from 94.80s, now trading up to 95.10s. So not a horrible look. There goes BTC to the downside, Gorv. This one's not looking too good for us, my friend. I don't know if you're involved in it. I know you were talking about it not too long ago. Pull it up on the 5. Once this is cracked, then you can see the buying pressure within all these 5-minute candles. So I'm looking for it to hold, but if it decides that it wants to give up that support level, then we just got to get out, and then maybe hopefully we'll be able to find another better opportunity or a lower price. So yeah, just not holding on to the winners long enough. I can pull that up there. You got it there. Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, and I mean, I would love to add some more into this, get a couple more shares in here, some more entries, and just kind of go full on risk. But we got to wait for it to start working first, and we're keeping our eyes on the tape. One thing I will do is we'll put in a quote highlight on our orders here, on the order book, that is, to see if this is going to identify anything. And I mean, if you can see the imbalance and you can see the immediate ask, slightly more aggressive, right? So there's significantly more size right there, but this guy's just getting chewed up, so that's pretty good, and you can see those orders starting to come in there as well too, Sri.
All right, man, none of the small caps getting any love today. It's all a big cap name. Here's what we're talking about. This is the visualizer, guys. Shout out to Fabian for making this. It's super easy for you to have your say. You get into the chat, you throw in that $, and then whatever ticker your heart so desires, get into the chat and vote now. This is for the afternoon rundown, where we basically pick the top 5 stocks as decided by you guys. guys, and we talk about them. We talk about the news headline. The Katina and Anil will give you the technicals. If they traded it, they'll tell you how they traded it, you know, whether positive or negative. If they didn't trade it, they'll tell you why, and why possibly they stayed away from it. So right now, Joseph Options,
yes, sir.
Tesla is leading the pack with 101 votes. Not surprisingly here, Oracle not far behind with 76. I mean, what does it need to be up 50% to go into first place? ASST also up 79 votes with the hooded one, 73. CoreWeave getting a lot of love today. Let's see how much I'm out of the money now on this one, Joey.
On Core?
We're only out, you know, $2,900.
Oh, on the contract.
On the sim.
Yeah, it's done. No, it's done. When does it expire?
I think the 10th or something like that.
Tomorrow.
No, the 19th.
The 19th. So you got a week.
Yeah.
All right, guys, bang. Let's go.
Get it,
here.
Joey.
I need it. Oh, boy. Let's go. Volume stepped in. This is what we're talking about. This is crazy, crazy. Hopefully it can be sustained. We don't come back into the middle of the range. And I added one more time because shout out to Why Not. Because literally, I say that every day. It's my favorite. Honestly, I love all of you, but my favorite tag is Why Not. Don't talk to him too often, but it's just the why not factor. Hey, Joe, do this. Why not? Just go and do it. You only get to live once, right? So, you know what? I like it. I like it. We had a good hockey game last night. It's unfortunate we didn't come out with the W, but I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Did you hit the net?
Yeah, I scored. So listen to it. I opened up the scoring. So for the majority of the game, it was 0-0. And then as soon as the third period opened up, about a minute and a half, I scored.
Hey.
We bang in another quick 2-1s quick.
Okay.
But then with 3 minutes left in the game, they tied it up.
No.
Yeah. But other than that, it was a battle, man. It was a really high level game and a great hockey game. So yeah, let's go. Oh no, don't pick up volume there. No, that's the worst case scenario. We don't want to see that selling pressure start to pick up. This is why we focus on the volume profile. What happened there? We had the volume step in our direction, and then it comes right in. So this is, I'm saying, this was probably the worst case scenario that could happen, unless you get another interval of that candle step in, and it's drastically greater than the previous ones. But this is what you not want to see, and that's why BPA is extremely important when you're day trading.
All right, Ozan, I love Ozan. When I was working in Nigeria, the best bar was called Why Not? And it was an owner named Tommy. So there you go.
Oh, yeah? So shout out to him.
Shout out to Tommy, man. Chuck of all trades telling me to look at AGMH. Let's have a look at AGMH. That's AVGO. This chart infuriates me. AGMH. It was like the worst kept secret in freaking all of Wall Street. Everyone knew that AVGO was the alternate play to. I don't want to get
rant over.
Yeah, rant over, right? Yeah, here we go. Breakout. AGMH 311. This is looking awfully spready though. Let's load this up on a trading screen so we can get a better look at the time and sales as well as the book. Which screen we're gonna choose. We're gonna take off HUDI over here. AGMH, excuse me guys, let me load that one up. All right, it's decent here. 4 penny spread, respectable, decent, manageable. $3 area. Probably doesn't have a headline, that's fine, that's been the norm lately. If they don't have a headline, it's not a hard and fast rule, but it makes the likelihood of a mean reversion more likely and more likely to manifest a bit quicker than you may have expected. So AGMH, no headline from what I can see, but a nice breakout here, doing the dance with absolutely no pants with that $3 area. Let's see if it's able to clear it. Here comes $3, Joseph Options. We're gonna keep an eye on this one with that 311 high. Shout out to Chuck of all trades. We're putting this one on the side chart. We're gonna take off DGNX because it's a dog. It's a dog, not in a good way. Here comes 311. There goes 311. Shout out to my man, Chuck of all trades. 320 high. Dipping down, though, into 3. Have we cleared 3 by far enough to now use it as support? We will find out momentarily. Up 37, 38%, zigging and zagging. Let's see if it holds 3. Good topping tail candle into 320. And the buyers are stepping in and around that 3 area, losing it for the moment over here, but we're still in the high 90s. So I wouldn't be writing this one's obituary quite yet. Let's see. There you go. Nice little price spike up into 310. Is this the area to get in? We've defended 3 a couple of times now. Are the buyers looking at this one? Yes, that is a new high, 328. This one's going, guys. Be on the lookout here, Joseph. AGMH moving.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I play that, Brian L. I didn't know what you meant by that, obviously, if you didn't see what I had to say. So there it is, guys. We're just stuck in this consolidation. I do like that we're slowly starting to curl over, so we got to be patient. But one thing to note, every time we run into this resistance, you're going to see that supply really start to kick in, and then sure enough, it gets flushed. So we'll try to keep our eyes on the tape right now and see what we got going on. If we get another push up into this level, then just keep an eye just in case you do get an additional flush on the bids and below. So there it is again, right? So you run into the resistance, boom, that supply drops right in there, and they're rejecting it. And I'm always curious, is like, when are these individuals going to run out of shares? Like, look at the size here, and I guess they never will. Market makers, this might not work out for us, my guy Gorv. I'm glad that you're long Apple off of the lows. That's looking pretty good. Adara, what do you got for us?
I mean, what a day it's been here for the market. This is the Nasdaq, slightly lower highs here. Of course, at 8:30 a.m., we did get the PPI. That was, of course, the producer price index, and it came in lower than expected across the board with both the month prints, so that the core and non-core actually a negative print, negative 0.1% each. We did have positive prints for core PPI and PPI year over year, so both the year over year prints, but they were still significantly lower than expected. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here for CPI, but this lower than expected print is another indicator that we're likely to get. Definitely we're expecting a 25 basis point cut, but now we do have a slight uptick in participants who are expecting potentially a 50 basis point cut. Again, we will have to wait and see, but we don't have to wait too long. The meeting is going to be in 1 week from today. Here's Larry Ellison, and this is Oracle, ORCL. This is their annual revenue growth here over the past 30 years. And again, they're actually expecting the revenue to grow even further and continue to accelerate, specifically in their cloud infrastructure segment. That's why the stock is up so much and actually at new all-time highs, up more than 40% at the highs, even though they had a double miss for this quarter. Klarna on watch. KLAR will be having its IPO. Right now, we're seeing a expected opening of around $52. The IPO price was $40, which is still above that expected range. So KLAR, let's see if this is a stock that people buy now and maybe pay later. Back to you.
Thank you. Oh, we're doing Neil or okay. Oh, okay. All right. No worries, guys. We'll pull this up right here. Come on, see, there it is. We're right into that zone. Bang, we're getting the break, man. Let's go. Why isn't the volume starting to pick up here? Maybe we have to wait, but there it is. We're starting to punch through some of these zones. Positive stuff. We'll like it. Hopefully this can be continued and we don't get that rejection. Again, so let's just focus on what the tape is telling us. Boom, we're getting those flushes. Genuine move here, but the volume isn't necessarily what we want. For a breakout, and then now we have to keep our eyes on what the tape is telling us. And see, there it is. Wow, that is insane. Big time D, and that's what we're referring to. So a big time seller up there at 64.78. With that being said, let's take a look at our options chain. If there's anything specific at that 65 strike price, that can tell us a lot for sure. Come on, you can do it. IBIT. Put in some solid sessions. IBIT. But yeah, you guys seen it on the tape, right? If you're looking at your level twos, make sure you keep an eye on that stuff. So 65 strike price. We have 65,000 open contracts at that specific level. 15,500, drastically off there. So 15,500, nothing substantial. I think it can break it, right? We just need a little bit more demand north of this. So 30,100 at that 64 strike. So you can maybe get that underwater push from these if they want this to close south of 64 on the week. So yeah, just be cautious on what this congestion zone is potentially telling us. So you're just getting the continuous rejections of this level. So yeah, it is what it is. Breaks VWAP, we're going to hop out of that trade. We won't take too hefty of a loss on that one. Still breathing off of that TQs. As the TQs start to come right back in, you're a little bit north of VWAP, and then boop, moving sideways. So total September PA, in my opinion. But yeah, a really mixed bag in the crypto space. Ethereum was strong right out of the gate, but you're just not getting any continuation. So if Ethereum sells, then maybe Bitcoin might be in some trouble as well. But there you go. Apple's starting to cook for my boy up here. Nice grab off of these lows. Nothing specific. Like, we can call this indecision here. Are you going to get that move back to VWAP? I hope for your sake that we do, because this was some unprecedented selling. You go out to the daily, and it's just like, oh, okay, we were trading at 141 just the other day, and then now you're down 6 1/4. So that's not always the best time, right? Like, it's like, hey, that's not any fun. I thought we were going to continue its move, considering Judge Ferry and Google's on Google's end. But yeah, let's go crypto. We need the 5-minute to open up above this range, and then I think we're going to be sitting pretty, Sharif.
Joseph, right before we went to Dara happening now, AGMH halted to the upside. I didn't want to interrupt and bring it back, but this one's been halted, guys, since 11:59:53. It is 12:04:21. So if this one is going to be a 5-minute halt, we're going to open at 12:04:53. Get ready. I think we have about less than 30 seconds for this bad boy over here, AGMH on the NQ, to open up. Right now, we're showing a theoretical auction price at tap of 383. The halt level is 358, so we're almost 30 pennies clear of that halt level. At least that's where it's going right now. Let's see exactly what this one opens up at. I'd love to have an atomic clock just set up. Here we go. Okay, so it's not going to be a 5-minute halt. This will be a longer 10-minute halt. We have passed the 5-minute threshold now. So here we go. Keep your eye on it. And then also keep your eye on the tap. Like we said earlier that, you know, the longer, as a general rule, the longer you're halted for with these small caps, the tap starts coming down. That hasn't been the case lately. We saw that with QMMM yesterday. The longer it stayed halted, the higher the tap was. And this thing squeezed, I think, from like $2 to 300 or some insanity like that. Take a look at QMMM. So that's what I'm going to be waiting on right now. Auto Antics wants me to look at JBDI. You ask, you get, Auto Antics.
Ooh.
Let's have a look at it, Joey. JBDI, what do we got over here? JBDI Holdings. Okay, so right away, straight to jail.
Ooh.
It fails in 2 of my rules, Auto Antics. The first and foremost, that 4 a.m. spike, that's a real spike on real volume. It did 3.7 million shares at 4:05 a.m. So that's more than it did during regular market hours. So it topped up there, brother, at 11:49, 11:50. So that's rule number 1 broken. It has to be trading above the pre-market high. It's not. In addition, it's below that white line. That white line is the volume weighted average price, which is currently at around 295. It's also trading below that. So to me, it's a no-go. But, you know, you never know how these ones are going to get and, you know, how they're going to act. So this one's actually started moving in the aftermarket yesterday on decent volume, about 841,000 shares on that candle, about 929,000. And it topped out at about 2:30 before it sold off into around 8 p.m. 4 a.m. came, and all the degens woke up early like myself, punched in. No, they probably set up algos. And then all hell broke loose to the downside. It was a Christmas tree retracement all the way down. So this one doesn't meet my rules, brother, but thank you for pointing it out. Let's keep an eye out, though, on AGMH. I'm still waiting for that bad boy to open. Likely will be 12:09:53. If it's going to be a 10-minute halt, it'll be 12:09:53. It is 12:07:06. So we still have a few more minutes until this bad boy opens up. Sharif, Hive, Joe, GRPO. So he wants me to look at one and you at the other. I'll start.
No problem,
I'll start.
my friend.
Let's have a look at, shout out to Manish. Let's shout HIVE. One that we obviously know, Hive Digital. This is on my crypto proprietary watch list. It's okay, brother. I mean, it had a good day yesterday. This thing was moving from 265 all the way up to 313. It's holding the lows, so it's not giving up the ghost, so it's a good look. But intraday, I mean, you're up marginally at 3%. It's not exactly what I would trade, but based upon yesterday's price action and holding those levels today, I would say it looks pretty good. Joseph, you're up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to hop out of this Bitcoin trade here, guys. That's it. I'm going to wait for this IPO after this trade. Just not my day, and we just got to obviously accept it and then be a little bit more patient. So I'll just go over some of the things that you guys are looking at. Sharif's got his small cap, so he'll be trading that here as well, because I want to save myself some risk throughout the session, considering we're getting really aggressive down here. So, it's this downtrend, right? Just fully intact. So yeah, this is real. This is as real as it gets right in front of us. So this is how trading can be. Every day isn't all roses. So, and today's not one of them. Bang. Yeah, I got to get out of that. Oh, so frustrating. All right.
All good, brother.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
That's like my day yesterday.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Tomorrow's a new day. Wednesday's usually a pretty good one, but there it goes. Bitcoin breaking down. If I held on to it, and this is what I was talking about, right? So when earlier I'm like, okay, beautiful. We added to this position when the volume steps in, but then it's immediately met by defense, and then boom, volume to the downside really starting to accelerate, and you can see it on the lower intervals right there. So glad that we got out of it, otherwise we would not be participating. Tell me what you got.
All right, I tried to get in on WDS. It broke out, guys. There it goes into $8. It is now cleared 7, not decisively though, because we haven't closed above 7. That resting order there is my schmuck of a resting order sitting at 660. I was of the opinion that it was going to continue to do the dance with that level. Here we go. Did we get filled? Oh, we got filled, Joey. Oh, no. Are we going to pop back up? Yeah, we are. All right, we're going to wet the beak here. Into the 80s we go. Freaking give me my money. All right, here we go. 85s, we're in at 60. Are we going to get 90 print? We're going to wet the beak there again. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Flatten out as it comes into my order. All right, we'll take a trade. Not too bad. That's a topping tail candle, though, guys. Be careful with this candle. This is, I'm just watching over here. WDLS, that's, oh my goodness, that's a price spike galore. Right back down below 7, straight to jail. Wow. This one needs to go. My goodness, my goodness. That's all sorts of volatility. Joey, what are you supposed to do with this, man? Yeah. Like, imagine sizing in 12,000, 15,000 share like your friend there, and you're just being out of the money immediately.
Right away.
Like, immediately.
Like, right away.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, look, there's a trader that we all know. It's breakout or bailout with these ones.
Oh, yeah?
Breakout or bailout.
That's it, man.
That's the way it is with these ones.
Exactly how it is, man. All right, so we're starting to see some lows there. We'll take one more stab at this market to see if we can get a little bit of a bounce on the TQs. Nice double, triple bottom being formed, so we like that. Go heavy or go home. So let's see if we can get back into the volume-weighted average price. NVDA did come into target, which is slightly frustrating. So here it is. I was just looking at this chart right here, and it's like, okay, boom, stops me out at the high and then goes back right into target. So yeah, sometimes you miss some of them. Super chat, let's see what we got going on. TQQQ is forming a downtrend rising wedge. I'm not too familiar with the downtrend rising wedge pattern there, Shreve. I don't know if you know anything about that one.
I have no idea.
That one, yeah, so unfortunately, the Dan zone. Not too familiar with the downtrend. What is this name called again? Sounds like a downtrend rising wedge. Sounds like a skateboard trick or something like that, maybe.
Skateboard P?
Skateboard P, yeah, snowboard trick or anything along those lines. Sorry, I honestly don't know. I'm looking at the double bottom that we're experiencing on this. We'll take a look at it to see if it will hold up. TQQQ. And if it does or it doesn't, it could break through support and head lower, but maybe we get that pop back into VWAP, guys.
All right, guys, I'm back in to WLDS off the 10 EMA, seller at 65. We're showing 69s now. Like, can we get back into the 70s? Look, topping tail or not, it generally held the 10 EMA, which it's been doing the entire time. So whatever buying program or algorithm, buy-side algorithm is buying it off the 10 EMA, at least for now. That doesn't have to continue to be the case. So let's see if we can get a nice price spike up and get some orders filled. Showing 70s now on WDLS. Oh my God, Joseph, we're doing it freaking live. Now I've taken out the orders into the 90s. I'm waiting at 25s.
Boom.
Boom.
Hold on.
Freaking boom.
Boom, man.
So much better than how I traded yesterday. I was trading like smush.
Oh, yeah, that's me today.
Such a douche yesterday. Anyway, all right, so we're continuing to do a lot. Boom on my man over here. Yeah. Shout out to WDLS, man. Very happy with this one. It looks like it's setting up for that breakout. It's setting it up now. We're getting the higher lows, but the short sellers are stepping in. They're stepping in between 7 to 8. Right, but I feel like this one, they may be caught offside. We're up 615%. So we've got the juice to let this one loose. We already know this was going all sorts of crazy in the pre-market. 9:30 came, the selling started coming in. That's normal. Here comes 8. Let's watch now as 8 zigs and zags. We know the prior candle rejected 8. This one rejecting 8 as well. Can we clear 8? The buyers are taking profit at 8, or the short sellers are getting very aggressive at that level. Here comes 8 again. Can we clear it? We're not clearing it, Joey. So we're going to have to pack our patience for that clearing, but pick it up off the 10 EMA. I picked it up a few times off this level. It's been good to me. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's see if we can get a little bit more.
Please be good to me. Please be good to me. Yes, yes, yes. Shout out to Kip from Napoleon Dynamite as he is bowling. So
yeah. Kip's great, bro.
Kip is great, man. Kip, yeah.
He got that online relationship. All of a sudden, he changed his gear.
Like this,
he got the do-rag going on in the back.
Peace out. Yeah.
He's so good, bro. What's the uncle's name again?
Rico.
Uncle
Rico, man.
Uncle Rico needs to stop living in the past,
yeah,
bro.
No, I love Rico. He's honestly such a great guy. I could throw a pigskin a quarter mile. Go on, tell
Joseph, we're doing it live. We're about to take out the high of the day. It's an official high of 895 on WDLS. We obviously traded way higher in the pre-market, but this one is doing it live. It's about to take out 895. It's now above 8. That short seller at 8's been decimated, at least for now. Let's see if they step back in. Oh, no. Up into, I think, 870 spike there. Pardon me, 870 on the dot is the high of this candle. So WDLS, 750%. We're really going. We're going to halt. 873 is a halt level. We've seen multiple false halts, though, on these small cap gappers. This one feels like one right now. So watch for the bottom to drop off. 873 halt level. It needs a couple more seconds. One, there it is. There's gray out. Halted to the high side, 873. We are less than, so 22 pennies, excuse me, off that official day high, 895. But I need to bring to your attention the 910 candle in the morning. That price went up to 1085. So even though it's an 895 official high, we have price action from the pre-market well above that at basically 1090s. So this one halted to the upside. Keep your eye out on it. The shorts are panicking, Tisha. They're in a lot of trouble right now. They are in a lot of trouble as they're caught offside here. You know, this one did topping tail. It broke VWAP. It basically was doing crap from the bell onwards. And that's fundamentally changed now. And I think really what kind of led me to want to get into it was the higher lows. The higher lows and the hold off the 10 EMA, and there you go with that flat top break essentially through 7. So good look there. Going to keep an eye on it. Shout out to Crypto Banks. Shout out to my man.
Shout out to Crypto Banks. Uber, yeah, let's take a look at Uber, as my guy Obi would like to call it, and see what it's up to on the day. No, it was DoorDash teaming up with the IPO today, Klarna. So Uber, really liquid. Wow, in the pre and post market, I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. But not too bad of a look. Nice hammer candle right there. Just kind of in this consolidation, but that trend line is still fully intact here, guys. So all of this is essentially noise if you're just using your trend line. Eventually, it's going to break through, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within the coming days, months, weeks even. So yeah, not too bad of a look there in Uber. Positive. Is that the all-time high on it? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Completely. So yeah, a really good look. Let's see what else everyone's looking at. Yo. I'm not even gonna say your name, but yo, what's up, brother?
Who's that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you allowed to say?
No, there's no issues there. Yeah. I don't know if it's PG or not. So we'll just.
Which one?
This one.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, right away. So we'll avoid that one. But what's going on, my friend? Klarna tap. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. KLA 53.
The Katina man.
Yeah, so we're rocking and rolling.
There you go.
53 is the tap on KLAR. Let me pull it.
Say that again, Katina man? On the pairing? Okay, so the Katina man's talking about the what's it called? The imbalance locator.
Yeah.
So I should probably load that up. Joey, take over for a second so I can load that up.
We're going to keep our eyes on the TQs here as we continuously knock on the wrong door and no one's opening as we're now selling back in. So we need this support level to hold, and then if it breaks through this, then we're going to add. But I mean, It sucks because everything looks so strong and bullish this morning, and everything kind of just flicked the switch relatively quick. So, yeah, NVDA starting to head back towards the lower end of the volume-weighted average price. Key support level right there you got to keep an eye out for just in case it does break, and it's looking like it's going to at this pace. So, yeah, Bitcoin just turned into hot garbage after that opening drive, and the same with Ethereum. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. That looks really good. I was kind of frustrated that I sold a bit, but then, boom, we're right back in. So, anything south of these levels, and I talked about this from a daily standpoint, I thought that we were going to break through the support, but it did get a little bit of a bounce. So, yeah, keep your eyes out on this one. Come that rate cut, who knows, anything can happen. These things can go absolutely nuts, and then sure enough, you're breaking through resistance and heading towards those previous all-time highs in some of these names there. So,
Katina, man, how do I add Klarna to the imbalance locator? It's been like 3 years since I've added anything to the imbalance locator. How did you add it?
Let me see here.
No.
Do you have it? Do you have NYSE and everything up there?
So hold on, the Katina Man is going to help me out. So here's what I clicked, Katina Man, on that. Let's should do it live for everybody over here. So here's what I did, Katina Man. I clicked the imbalance locator right there.
Yeah, I have
and
it
then
up
it loads
here.
it up like that. Right click. Customize. There's no. Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
there
you,
you go.
Katina Man.
So we got it right. We got it right here.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's killing it. He's doing it live right now. It was Canada TSX. What do we need, Canada?
207.
All right. I like
pair
it.
volume,
So let's go all the way down.
3,024,000.
So KLR. You're going to the K's, right? All right. Let's go. Let's just look over here. KLAR is what I'm looking for. Say that again. I got it right here, guys. So 210. That's what you're saying right there. P-val. Yeah, 3.2. Okay.
Now go all the way to the top.
All the way to the top, and that will
always be there.
Okay.
Do it one more time.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it's almost
Katina Man, are you?
It's like I haven't been here for 3.5 years.
Katina Man, are you playing this?
They're both playing it. Why do you think they're both here?
Oh, is that a chuckle? All right, that was more or less a serious question.
I may not be here tomorrow. Well, he took a monster win there prior.
No way.
So here's Joey. We got to show everybody what we're looking at here. So KLAR, and then this is the imbalance locator. So what the exchange is doing on their end, they're pairing buy and sell orders that are coming in, like the limit on open, market on open that we were talking about earlier, and they're pairing those orders. WLDS is open. It's a 942 high. Keep your eye out on that. But the exchange is pairing buy and sell orders. And if there's an imbalance one way or another, an imbalance of sell orders, an imbalance of buy orders, you see that reflected on the side. So KLAR says B. That means there's a buy side imbalance. But how much? How many more shares are there buyers than there are sellers? So the variance there is 237.2, meaning there are that many more buyers than there are sellers. And this PV, that means paired volume. That means the exchange has paired 3.228 million shares that were both buy side and sell side. That paired them so that as soon as it's open, the buyer gets what they want, the seller gets what they want. So they've paired that off. And then as long as we have this number positive to the buy side, you will see that B there. We'll say buy side for the imbalance. So that's what we're looking at there. And I also want to update you on that $53 tap theoretical auction price that's weaseled onto the scene now. So keep your eye out on that. So a couple of things to tell them. WLDS 950 high, zigging and zagging right now. It's about, so to take out the pre-market high, we got to clear 1080, 1090 in and around that area. That's number one. Number two, I just want to tell them super quick about SKBL. SKBL was, somebody in the chat told me about this one. I just want to show them super quick. This one is breaking out, guys. 278. It's up 45%. It's got a lot of strength, Joey.
All right, guys. Beta Pro by Global X is bringing back its annual biggest winner simulated ETF trading competition. Now with over 40,000 in cash prizes, including a $20,000 grand prize, all risk-free. It's free to enter and open to all Canadians. Trade with $100,000 in fantasy cash on Webull platform. Whether you're an experienced trader or just getting started, it's a chance to test strategies, build skill, and climb the leaderboard. So you think what you have, what it takes to be the next biggest winner? Sign up today. All right, so there it is. Yeah, we got stopped out of that one, so it's unfortunate. And that's our day, bro, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're done there, my friend. I got to do some paper, some good old paper trading, but yeah, it happens. I don't recall the last one, so yeah, it's just a couple things didn't go our way with the size, and
all right.
sure enough, you get shut down on this one. And the market breaking through some key support levels as NVDA is starting to drag lower as well too there, Sharif.
All right, Joey. Apple is now down less than Amazon. So Apple's trying to recover into 227. We'll have to see how long that lasts for. But what I'm keeping my eye on, Assassino, I can't take my eyes off WLDS right now. Here we go. Bovin, the OG Bovin bought this. I think he bought it $8.58. By the way, Bovin, you want to send me that your trade from earlier? Because I know Bovin was in from $1.80 to $6.65 on WLDS. So we all saw that monster trade that he had yesterday, I believe on QMMM or CWD or whatever it was, Bovin. It was a monster trade. If you want to send me that again today, we'll obviously show it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep my eye here on WLDS. It looks like there's a buyer stepping in at 9 every single time, Joey. Is this going to be the one that goes quadruple digits again? Because it's pretty close. 807%, holding 9. Got a big breakout, 965 high. How high can we get, man? Oh, I got the Bovin email. There we go. We're going to have to show this in a second.
Yeah. What is he saying?
Yeah, well, he's going to show me his trade on WLDS. I know, Joey. I'm going to focus here because I might want to punch in, baby. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. But for the moment, we're going to send you to your boy Joey Options.
All right, guys. Every trader knows that if you want to grow, you have to risk more. At least that's how it used to be. Trade the Pool is changing that. It's the new revolution in stock trading. You don't need a large deposit. Trade the Pool is built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line. Just a small skin in the game, and you're trading the real capital. Here's how it works. You have to pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at just $47. That's just your total risk. And from there, you trade real shares, no CFDs, using company capital. Head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Adara, what do you got for us?
Keep an eye on these nuclear plays. Here's NNE, not moving too much, but Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, saying that she wants to add more nuclear power. So again, keep an eye on nuclear as these comments come out from the governor of New York, seeming to want to add nuclear power. Back to you.
Boom. Bang.
Boom. Here we go. Bovin, WLDS is the one. We're about to take out pre-market highs. We got in at 9:30, scalped up to 10:15. This is going WLDS. Here we go. We're going to clear 1,000%, 900 and change. This is the one, 1089. We've taken out that pre-market high, or have we? For whatever reason, it's not working on the hover over here on this particular candle. I don't know why. 1089 high, guys. That is the official high. Shout out to Tisha. Boom! Right back at you, Tisha. Big move up here, 1089 high. We're dropping below 10 though, Joey Options. We've got a candle of indecision right now. I will absolutely get back into this if it sets up. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. WLDS is the goated one on the day. Let's see if it's able to clear 1,000%. You know, it feels kind of comical to say 1,000% is late, right? But that's what we've seen. We've seen 5,300 from Octo. We saw 35 some odd from QMMM yesterday and CWD. So, to say 1,000% winner, I mean, and I don't even think we had 1,000% winner for a dollar and above until Octo. And then we ended up getting 5,300. It didn't close at 5,300, but it was intraday. It was up 5,300. I know that for a fact. Shout out to my man Bovin. He touched 1091. So that's where it touched. Bovin in the pre-market, 1091. So 1089 high, that is technically a lower high. So the shorts were all wise to that, obviously. They were looking at that pre-market high off which to get short, or the profit takers were looking at wetting the beak there. So 885%. We're certainly going to keep an eye out on this one. But I want you guys to keep an eye out as well on SKBL because it's not as aggressive of a mover, but it is looking pretty dang good here. Right into that 2.5, up 40%. Stair stepping up. Not, the wild one that WLDS is, but certainly one that not requires, but should have your attention if you're a small cap trader. What time is it? 12:27. Let's have a look quickly over here. The tap still showing 53 on Klarna. So nothing's changed with respect to that. Let's take a gander at the imbalances. Oh, that imbalance is growing, Katina, man. He's not impressed. It was 200 something. Now it's 400 something. What will it take to impress you? $1 million, $2 million. You want it to go down. Okay. Hold on, Neil. Okay. Oh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry, I meant the size. This one over here, yeah. If that stays there, it means they have work to do before it opens. If it gets down to 10,000 or something lower, that means they're ready to go.
Oh,
Thank you for that explanation, brother. I actually didn't know that.
It's dropping quick there.
Yeah, but it's been zigging and zagging with that 200. So essentially what's happening is there's such an imbalance they can't go live yet. So there has to be some sort of parity. So that's kind of how you get the idea that they may be
when they're
doing it live.
Open, yeah. Oh, they're definitely doing it live.
We got to set that one up.
Yeah,
baby.
they're definitely doing it live.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
What do you got?
What happened to WLSD? It had the most volume on the day, but there it goes. A nice move there in NVDA. We'll go over some of these names. Oracle just going beast mode here. And then also TSLA. I haven't even looked at Tesla today. Wow. Okay. Crazy. Some nice moves there in Tesla. Breaks through VWAP. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It just doesn't show VWAP on the lower time frames anymore. And then let's see what CoreWeave is up to on the day. Ooh, nice bull flag. Can that downtrend be snapped? Keep an eye out on this. And then you also have the flat bottom as well too there, guys. So nothing too horrible. Price compression, you obviously want to see the volume really start to kick in. And then let's see what Palantir has been up to. Ooh, okay, this is getting dangerous. I'm liking this. If that 5-minute hammer closed, risk profile defined, 165 could be a good opportunity to take a trade on that one. Obviously, Tesla starting to climb a little bit higher there. Ethereum, I thought we were going to close at 5-minute hammer right at these lows. Excuse me.
Get it, Joe.
And then you could possibly take a trade off of that one. Obviously, I personally cannot, so I'm living vicariously through all of you guys. And then AMD, ooh, not too good of a look there on AMD. But NVDA, really, really interesting. Held VWAP to a T, started to get a big-time bounce there.
All right, Joey, WLDS losing 10, coming into 9. Big drop here. Let's see what that $9 level has for us. Do we hold it in a strict sense? And if not, no, we're not holding it in a strict sense. Now, do we hold it as a general area of support right back into the $0.25? This thing has done 205.6 million shares. It has been doing, I don't know, I think that's one of the highest volume names probably in the day. Definitely not interested in executing at these levels. If it does come into the 10 EMA or that $8 level, it might be a bigger drop, but I think in this area here, it is really not for me. Bovin says, I think 9 is a dip buy. Yeah, Bovin, you just got your dip buy there. This current candle has a higher low than the prior candle. The prior candle low, again, not helping me with the hover, 870 something. This one is 880 something. So it does feel like that $9 area is a good buy area, Bovin. I would have to echo that sentiment. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. We'll see if it wants to make another attempt into that $10 area. And if it does, do we see $11? Because we know it was $10.90 something in the pre-market as a level high and $10.89 during regular trading hours as the area high. Having trouble with the $0.50 now. Let's see. Well, right into 2/3, right into 3/4. So the strength coming back here into WLDS. Keep an eye out on this one. Here comes 10 again, guys, on this name, up 850%. Let's see if it is able to take out that level or how aggressively it clears that level. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that. I also want to keep pointing out, guys, SKBL, because this is continuing to stair step up and in a much more calm way. So if you're not about, that really volatile lifestyle with WLDS and moving, 30, 40 pennies at a time with the tape going crazy and the book going crazy, this may be more down your alley. It is a good trend and 47%, nothing to sneeze at, but you're not getting that, consistent level of volatility. Now, you're going to have to give up something to get something. You're giving up here a tight spread because it's a bit wider. I've seen it at 7, 8 pennies. Right now, it's not too bad. 2 pennies, I'm talking about SKBL. PTNM is losing the 10 EMA on the 5 for the first time on the day, and now we're about to get that kind of death cross between the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA, where the 10 EMA is going to cross below the 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart is what I'm referring to there on PTNM. Let's see if it finds support at VWAP in and around that $7 area. But back to WLDS, as this one feels like it's bull flagging here into that $10 area. Now, even though we have a 1089 high a day, it does feel like that real resistance level above, and I don't know if you agree with me, is $10. In fact, you haven't had any of the 3 candles, all of which have breached 10, actually close above 10. So I'm pretty convinced that $10 is the breakout level if you are able to close on a decisive basis above that level. But you're going to have to deal with all this volatility in the interim. Again, moving into the 80s and the 90s. Let's see if this one's able to hold up and clear that $10 area. And if it does it squeeze, right into that high a day, right into $11? That'll be another thing I keep my eye on there. WLDS, the one I'm looking at. If there are any others that I don't have notice of and I haven't mentioned that, are good, let me know. I see one over here, EDHL. I ask, and I answer my own question. It's just a south of a dollar, EDHL, but it's really breaking out right now. What? EDHL, right? What did I type? EDHL. Oh? What am I? How come I'm looking at 2 different charts over here, though? Oh, that's a 5-second. What's going on? Katina Man says Klarna might be going soon.
Good.
Yeah, this one's definitely not it. I don't know why I'm getting 2 different charts on that, but we're just going to look at Klarna quickly over here, $53 top, and let's just have a look at the paired volume, down to 50,000. That's what the Katina Man was talking about. He's like, this number has to drop lower, more like, It was a buy. Now it's a sell. I missed that. I didn't even look at the side. So now Klarna is a sell side. Okay, so don't. Okay. So now it's a sell side imbalance with about 46,000. It's going to keep changing. Paired volume still volume that hasn't been paired. So it's flipped now. Klarna, the IPO, has flipped from a buy side imbalance to a sell side imbalance. Be on the lookout. It's dropping into the 20s here. Joseph options. All right. Definitely waiting for that one to open up.
Dang,
I don't have anything on it, by the way. I haven't put a limit on open. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right. That's how it is. So yeah, let's go over a couple more names here. We got Joby. I know someone who likes that name. Kind of taking it on the nose, but a nice gap up here in the morning in the pre-market session. So nothing horrible. What's it going on in the daily? Yeah, nice bounce. Wow, I really like this stuff here, especially because that's a defined low. You're down how much percent from that point? 35. So yeah, I like that for a big time bounce. And look at this move that it went on from those April lows all the way up to that previous high in late June. 331%. That is a big time move. A really good look there, and you're starting to get that bounce. So let's see if we can get a continuation on there. What's my good friend Dell up to on the intraday chart there? Let's zoom in and see. We got the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, but brother, when I obsess about something,
tell me, bro. I already know.
So yeah, there we go. Bang, starting to come back in, but some weird, funky stuff going on. What's up with that? These Nazi names, man. Play some tomfoolery, as Sharif would like to say. You
see your friend American Eagle?
No, what's it doing? Is it that thing?
It's not at 26, Joey.
All right,
and hold on. We haven't gotten into this discussion yet. It's probably a good idea that we tell everybody. There's a bet between Joseph Options and let's just call a spade. He won the first bet fair and frickin' square.
Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe we'll get to make up for that bet. Now, the bet was, Joey, that if AEO hits $26, you will buy me whatever pair of jeans
I said American Eagle.
I'm going to go in there and find the most expensive pair of jeans that I have. I don't know if you said it. I think you did say American Eagle. We'll have to check the tape.
We got the records of that for sure, but I mean, I'll get you whatever pair you want, my friend.
I don't even think they're that expensive. American Eagle, I would have to check.
Are you going to go with the Travis Kelce's, or you think you're just going to go with something?
Can I tell you? I haven't even looked yet, so I have no idea what kind of jeans I have. But I'm not a big fan of the new looser jeans. I'm not about that leg, right?
Like, brother.
I don't know if they have those.
We're about those straight legs. Not relaxed fit. We like the straight.
I don't know, man. I see a lot of these soccer players, especially in Europe, because you know how Europe's always a little bit more fashion ahead of us.
Fashionistas.
And they're like swimming in their clothes. Joseph, like,
what's that?
What's that swim in my clothes?
That the English wear. It's like the half sweater that they tie around.
Yeah, of course, bro.
You were rocking that hard.
I like that. I don't mind that. That's very preppy, bro.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
I'm about that life. All right, we're gonna have to pause for a second, guys. Daryl's got breaking news.
Keep an eye on PEW here, Grab a Gun, and SWBI, Smith & Wesson. I'm seeing here apparently Florida's First District Court of Appeals has ruled that Florida's open carry ban is no longer constitutionally enforceable statewide. PEW is moving a little bit on this. So yeah, PEW, SWBI, both on watch here again. Seeing reports that Florida's First District Court of Appeals has ruled that Florida's open carry ban is no longer constitutionally enforceable across the state. Back to you.
You see your friend DeSantis?
No.
He wants to remove the property tax from the houses in Florida. So here's my theory, and it's just a complete theory, and I don't have anything to. I'm just speculating.
So then people are just going to pay no tax in Florida?
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So home insurance spiked up huge because of all the hurricanes they're getting. So I'm just going to give you any number, Joey.
Yeah.
So say that, for example, the average homeowner was paying 1% of their property value per year for home insurance, just to have that protection against hurricanes. That one, I'm just again giving you any number, jumped up to 4. Yeah. So a 4 times the amount that you have to actually pay. So you need to factor that into home prices because it brings prices down because, again, you're going to have to meet that payment every month. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to bring back the equilibrium. So he's like, all right, so you got to pay, 4 times the amount of insurance. Let me bring some other payment down for you guys. And in this case, property tax. Apparently, that's what he's trying to do.
One's going in the hand of the insurer and the other one's coming out of the hand of the government.
Well, exactly. So, that's a good point.
So it's obviously.
Look at this, Joey. Look at this. Bunk 424. My insurance went from $1,700 to $9,300.
A year.
Yes,
that is
bro.
insane.
Yes, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, that's the thing. Like, people that own homes in Florida have to fundamentally change what their payments are.
And obviously, if Bunk's saying that, I heard people were just avoiding insurance altogether, like whether it be vehicle insurance and home insurance as well. They're like, we're just not paying that. Here, you can't even do that. You can't even renew your car, your driver's license in Ontario without having proof of insurance. So.
No, this is insane. Look, the amount of people that are chiming in here. 12K in property taxes, Durant, that's crazy.
In Texas.
Look at this. Bart Natoli, mine was $2,900. He's up to $6,000. Look at this. JD Florida man, I'm paying $6,000 in tax and $8,000 in insurance. Jesus. Oh,
bro,
Katina, man, the spike, brother, not the property tax, just the insurance. How much are you paying on your insurance? $150 a month for the house? For the house?
That's like $2,000 a year.
$2,000 a year. Katina, man, they're paying like $9,000. You know what I mean? That's US dollars too. TD Baker, $6,000 insurance with no flood insurance here on the. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's just like.
That's what your boy said.
Who, Gora?
Super chat.
Oh, I missed it. My man is back, Nimrod. Shout out to Nimrod dropping shekels, baby. 150 shekels in the chat. Sharif, I believe in you more than you. Got into EDHL when you talked about it. I'm up 22%.
Bang. Let's go, man.
That's my man.
Yeah, that's our guy, man.
I'm loving it, bro. The fact that you're printing off that makes me happy, brother. Print up a storm. Enjoy the beautiful weather over there. Obviously, we miss you around here, brother. Hopefully, you'll come sooner rather than later. Shout out to you.
Make sure you get ready for some bike rides as well, too.
Yeah, you always got to make him feel bad,
Yeah, you always got to make him feel bad. Just make sure he's
Look at that. 2 New York cents. I was denied fire coverage because I was too close to a wash, a.k.a. dry riverbed. What the hell? Brother, I'm hearing these stories like from you guys. That's direct. That's direct information. To me, I was just listening on the news, and it was already opening my eyes. Now I'm actually seeing some of these numbers, and yeah, it's not good. It's crazy, but that's the way it is, Joey.
So what would you rather do? Let me ask you this. Would you rather pay $19,000 a year in taxes and insurance or live in a little bit of a cold where you have 8 months of the year and it's cold?
I love Toronto, bro.
Yeah, you love it?
My whole life I've been here since I was 4 years old. I'm 43 years old, so it's like
you've been here the majority.
Yeah. You know, I love Toronto. I'm used to Toronto. Yeah. I get it. Like it's cold in the winter. Okay,
so
people won't like that.
If you could move to any city, which one would it be? Or you're happy with where you reside?
Can I tell you? It'd either be Florida or Texas.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Florida or Texas.
Not even Zona, eh? You like the Arizona?
I want the beach. Like
you
obviously
like the beach?
Galveston and
Yeah,
the Texas beach is not that nice. It's kind of muddy and the water's murky because of the Mississippi. It like floods that area and it's all muddy and whatever. Florida, obviously a way better beach, but you see some of these properties in Texas. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it's nice.
And you see all the memes online. Get a 200 square foot apartment in Toronto for what you can get a mansion in Texas for. We've seen that. We've all known about that. What about you, baby?
What about me? If I could live in any city, I think it would either be, I like Phoenix a lot, or maybe I would either go into either Tulum or Phoenix, I think. Tulum, Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love
a lot of
Tulum.
people moved there during the pandemic, but like I heard there was like a big exodus once the pandemic was done and all the like the hybrid.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Or Tulum? Yeah, maybe.
People were
possibly.
saying that because like everybody had hybrid or work from home. Now they're canceling that work from home a lot, so everybody's leaving there now.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Like, I mean, we've seen the exodus out of the city and people going into the suburbs, and that just skyrocketed price homes here.
That's the way it is.
Well, too, so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or Puerto Rico, save on those taxes, no capital gains there. So you got to think about that as well.
Dinkelberg, bro.
What Dinkelberg?
He's antagonizing Canada, man. He's like, when Canada becomes a 51st state, stop saying that, man. You know, like they don't like that here. They don't. You know, they're very proud people. Get it, Adara.
Here's my question. So let's say hypothetically, although Carney did tell him, some transactions can't be made, Trump did say time will tell. So let's say time does tell. What happens to the Canadian passports? Do they all get stripped of you? Because you're theoretically an American. Like, what's the process, I guess?
And Adara, how about the dollar? Do we use our currency or do we adopt the U.S. dollar, right? And how does trade work? Do we have tariffs for an entire North American continent? Like, there's just so many different economic unions, and that's what your friend Kevin O'Leary was talking about. He didn't want Canada to become the United States, but he wanted an economic union of sorts. I don't know, man. We'll have to see where it all goes.
Do they take our maple syrup? Like, what happens? Are they now the maple syrup cow? Who knows?
But I mean, but Donald said we get a 1-to-1 though. For every U.S. dollar, we get it. For every Canadian dollar, we get it.
That's what was being floated there, right?
So,
Joey, should we start? Should we start the news? Let's fire up the news, guys. Obviously, the boys will let us know as soon as Klarna is ready to go, and obviously we will stop said news to do that. So let's talk about these Oracle earnings because they were insane. Okay, as you can see, the price chart there is nuts. And this is one of the most unusual ones because you don't usually pop 30-some-odd% when you miss on the top and bottom line. But that's exactly what happened here with Oracle. So let's go, Assassino. EPS came in at $1.47. The street wanted $1.48. Miss on the bottom line. On revenue of $14.93 billion. The street wanted $15.04. Miss on the top line by $110 million, by the way. Revenue did grow 12% year over year from $13.3 billion now up to $14.93. Income, that profitability came in flat. They're still taking a little bit less than $3 billion home just on the quarter. So very profitable company. This latest move is their best day ever since the 1999 dot-com boom, if the gains hold, and they did, baby. The stock was already up 45% year to date in addition to the 30 that it threw on now. And here's why, guys. Cloud infrastructure was absolutely nuts. $3.3 billion, up 55% year over year. We're going to take a pause.
All right, guys, 14 years, 0 hacks, 0 excuses. BTCC.com delivers when others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla, gold, and 4x. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in USA, Canada, and Europe, trusted by 6.8 million traders. Tradertv.live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. Where the pros trade, and now so can you.
All right, Joey, let's tell them about the 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts that Oracle signed with 3 customers. So I guess 1 customer signed 2? Because there's four multi-billion-dollar contracts signed with 3 customers. We already know OpenAI secured 4.5 gigawatts of U.S. data center build. Google Gemini as well. I have no idea why Google is buying cloud off Oracle since they have Google Cloud, but that's what they're doing. They're gonna host the Gemini models on Oracle's cloud system, and Oracle's forecasting $18 billion in cloud revenue for the full year 2026, and they're actually guiding much higher than that. Look at that long-term forecast from 32 billion to 144 billion annually over the next 4 years. So we'll have to see how that works. Oracle will launch AI database services in October, and they're going to actually run the new version of chat on their ChatGPT-5 as well as other models on their Oracle DBs. Last but not least here, this is the guidance, Joey. QPS guide coming in at $1.61 to $1.65. Consensus was 162, so a beat on the bottom line. Revenue growth outlook, they're saying 14 to 16%, which is about $16.21 billion. And Joseph, look at this. They're going to spend $35 billion in CapEx. That's up 65% year over year. And who's making that money? Your friend AVGO, who's up 10%, clearly benefiting from that.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that these deals are fantastic, but considering it's a relatively low margin business, that's something that you need to keep an eye out for, especially with some of these deals. They're all great. I mentioned this a couple of days ago with Sharif before we were leading into the earnings report. I'm like, these open AI deals, now they're striking even bigger deals. So it's fantastic for Oracle, but keep an eye on the margins. And then the growth that they projected for the next 4 years is absolutely insane. Did you read that?
It's insane. I just read it. Look at this, Joey. Look at that.
Over 4 years?
32 to 144
so there you go. Yeah, so that's some insane amount of numbers, and sure enough, that's why the stock's up over 30% on the day. I could go to the daily and we can talk about it, but guess what? When you're in blue sky territory, there's almost nothing to really talk about except for the highs and the lows. So 311, so 312 we'll call it, and then a high of 345. But they're getting upgrades left, right, and center, price target increases. So this name is absolutely rocking and rolling. I think it will for the foreseeable future, especially when you guide like how they did. The market is forward looking, and watch out for Oracle to continue its climb. You may get that pullback, but in the midterm duration, this name's going to go insane.
Absolutely. Adara, I'd love to hear your opinion on Oracle. This was, by all accounts, insane.
Yeah, so I know the company's called Oracle, but that doesn't mean they're actually Oracles. What is this guidance? And now I do want to give it a couple caveats here before I go off about the guidance, because I have so many thoughts. But okay, so let's be honest here. This is a little nutty. To be clear, I was having this conversation with Neil today, and Neil made an incredibly fair point. He was like, if a miner is looking and they're like, oh, we have more gold than we thought we did, it makes sense to guide that way, right? Clearly, they do have the backup. They said they have the RPOs. That's all good and fine. But guys, it's worth noting that Oracle does this all the time. I am tired of this company randomly announcing out of nowhere, we're going to have, in 2028, we'll have this much revenue. We'll have X number of revenue. And it does this every time, and it gaps up. And I'm like, that's all well and good, but, we get it. Do you know what I mean? Oracle, we get it. But that being said, congrats to Larry Ellison, congrats to anyone in this name. I feel like, though, the timing of this guidance release, too, is a little bit of a smokescreen. Because they had a terrible report, and they're like, oh, but it's okay, because 4 years from now, we'll have so much money. And I'm like, I don't know. I find it a little dirty, but that's just me. And I do, again, want to congratulate sincerely anybody who got that move. Congrats to you. I do think that's awesome.
But you bring up a good point. It's like a company who misses on the top and bottom line. We didn't meet expectations, but trust us, bro.
The timing is nasty. I think it's nasty.
Ooh.
I think it's manipulative.
Okay, so you think you're misleading shareholders there, Adara?
She's not misleading anybody.
No, I said, do you think?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I'm not going to go that far, but I think the timing, at least for the short-term stock move, feels a little sus. And I think Safra Katz, I will give her credit, CEO, she does know what she's doing. She was actually at that Trump odd little tech money roundtable dinner. Yeah. So she's got clout, she's got position. I understand maybe, the theory behind it, but that doesn't mean I necessarily think it's super ethical.
So do you think, Adara, do you think that Oracle should take the Salesforce approach like Mark Benioff and guide relatively lower? Because he's been...
Honestly, why are you giving guidance 4 years in advance? I'm not saying guide lower. I'm just saying, keep it to yourself just once. It's a point where Zero Hedge has, a running joke about Oracle guiding 40 billion years in advance. That's how often this happens.
That's insane. Hey, we got to wait for the next report.
No, but I think your point was fair, because if you're misleading investors, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to see on our news blotter, shareholder lawsuit alert. If you were a holder of Oracle from this date to this date,
absolutely.
contact our ambulance chasing law office.
It's the same instance in the C3 AI, right? Like with the CEO, this guy's guiding, and then he got sick, which that apparently caused a 30% decrease in revenue. I don't know. That
Willis Addin showing you love, Adara. This is why I evaluate her. She doesn't 100. There it is, baby. Thank you very much, Willis Addison, for the super chat. Adara's also saying thank you from the big desk. Let's go on to the next headline over here, Apple's iPhone event recap. So as we know, we've covered it during the midday show. They unveiled their new iPhone 17 lineup, headlined most specifically by the iPhone Air, which is the first major redesign or design shift, I should say, since 2017, essentially. Key upgrades for all lines include, as we have come to expect, better battery life, sharper cameras. This I like, though, the ceramic shield durability across all models, both premium and entry. You also got a bunch of updates to the Apple series, or Apple Watch, excuse me, with health features, as well as the AirPods Pro 3, which include now heart rate monitors, as well as, a sort of an AI coach to keep you motivated while you're doing your training. And the average selling price, the ASP, also increased. They bumped up the price per model, usually $100 on some of the devices. What they didn't do was they didn't increase the price on the Pro Max, which is the one that I care about. But what they did do is they offered a larger size, a 2 terabyte. That's going to be $2,000 starting price. So if you're looking for margin expansion, which I am because I'm a shareholder, they did it in an indirect way. Let's keep going here, Joseph. There's a whole bunch of different things to cover. We're not going to go through, the chipsets, the modems. There's a bunch. Okay, so let me ask you. What was your big takeaway from the event yesterday? Was it the iPhone, the wearables, or were you genuinely unimpressed?
To be honest with you, I wasn't overly impressed. I wasn't be like, hey, I need to go out and grab this. I need to go out and grab my AirPods out here so I can have my my workout buddy in the AI talking to me in my ear. And then also I mentioned on the watch as well too. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Now you have that live screen. I gotta go get an Apple Watch just so I can watch these little colors move around on the watch face. So no, there was nothing that stood out, and there was nothing absolutely that was captivating in my opinion. I'm still waiting for that new I want the mix of something new in hardware and then combine it with your software. So I want to see something new and extremely that's going to blow me out of the water. And I expect that from one of the better companies, and especially with a company that has such a vast ecosystem. I want to see them come out with new innovative products that grab the consumer, not just an upgraded version of the previous thing that you've been doing for the past 10 years.
All right. I wanted to, before we get to Adara, I just wanted to mention here one thing, Assassino. So the Pro Max, I was talking about this, how they made the 2 terabyte storage. So look at this. The 256 Pro Max costs you $1,200. The 2 terabyte Pro Max costs you $2,000. You are not going to convince me that an increase in space from 256 to 2 terabytes is worth $800. That is probably worth nothing to Apple. I bet you anything it's like $50-$60 to them, a jump from 256 to 2 terabytes. I'm just throwing a number out there. It's not 800. So the point I'm trying to make is I like that as a margin expanding kind of way without increasing the price on the most cheapest model, which is the 256 Pro Max. So that's kind of what I was making the reference to. Adara, I'd love to hear your comments about the Apple event yesterday. You were listening intently.
I was listening intently, and I honestly think one thing I just want to start with is I think it was Reuters, and they had the funniest way that they were doing their Apple story. They were like, Tim Cook was doing his best Steve Jobs impression, which A, is a scathing roast, and B, I mean, honestly, I didn't really get that takeaway. I think Tim Cook was just doing his normal thing with these presentations where he just kind of stands behind the wall while other people talk about the products. And that's not really meant to be a diss. That's just factually what he does. Now, with regards to the products, my biggest takeaway was I actually found the health focus to be pretty interesting.
Same.
I've been really following the hearing aid aspects of the AirPods. That's something that I'm really interested and curious about. I had a really good conversation with Randy about it too, and like the different ways that you can use the AirPods. I'm considering, maybe maybe getting one of these. And they also like
Interesting.
Randy just gave me the thumbs up, so thumbs up back to you, Randy. And I also want to say here, with regards to the battery life too, I like that they mentioned increased battery life for all the products, I believe, especially though the AirPods and the watch. The watch, 24-hour battery life. I think that's pretty cool. I was not the target audience for this presentation. Like, I'm not going to buy these. I still have an iPhone, whatever this is, and my home button, which yes, I still have, doesn't work. So take that how you will. But it was entertaining, and my favorite part was when they said, "Oh, we're at the forefront of AI innovation for the past 8 years," and I laughed out loud. I know this isn't really related to the event necessarily, but yeah, I think Apple. I said they shouldn't say AI at all with regards to timelines, and they didn't. So I'm really proud of them.
Yeah. They didn't say any timelines. I didn't think that they were going to be stupid to do that because they screwed up big time.
Adara, your home button doesn't work? How does it? That's insane.
Well, actually, I forgot. Now it does. It does. I just forgot because there was like almost a year where it didn't work for some reason. But it now, I am proud to announce, does work. But I still can't use my thumbprint.
But I get it. Like the battery life is great. But Samsung's been doing this on their phones for how long now?
Yeah.
The battery's been substantially better for how long? So, like, congratulations to you for finally playing catch-up 10 years later.
All right, I want to update everybody, Joey, quickly on Klarna. The top is showing 52. The side now is neutral. Neither a buy nor a sell with the unpaired size at 17,800 or 830 with the paired volume almost 4.8 million. So we're waiting, we're anticipating the big kahunas. They're there. They're going to let us know exactly when this one is open. That's the beautiful thing about being on a trading floor. So Klarna, $52 tap. It's neither a buy nor a sell imbalance. It's an N neutral. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and we will keep updating you as things develop. It's almost 1 o'clock, so hopefully we'll get it sooner rather than later. All right, where are my GameStop bulls at? This one, where are we at here, Joey? Let's see where GME is up on the day. Did it give up the ghost? Oh, it gave up a lot of the ghost, bro. All right, so popped up into 26. It's at 25 right now. So Q2 profit surged to $168 million, a little bit more, or 31 pennies a share, up sharply from the 14.8 million that they printed for profit last year in the quarter, with adjusted EPS coming in at 25 pennies. If you strip out one-line items, and revenue rose 22% year over year, a little bit less than $1 billion, 972 million, fueled by hardware and collectibles. Let's get to that collectibles. The revenue mix shift. Collectible revenue, Joey, up 63% year over year, more than $250 million, 227.6 million. The biggest driver of growth that GameStop's had, with their hardware and accessories also growing 31 million, up to $592 million, supported by console sales. We'll get to that in a second. And their software revenue continues to drop 27% year over year, shrinking as a share of overall sales. The Nintendo Switch 2 had a good impact. Apparently, they sold about 2 million units in the US by August 2nd. It was the best-selling console in both June and July, and we'll talk about their Bitcoin hoarding strategy in a second.
All right, guys, each year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the US, yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today.
All right, let's go on. Bitcoin holdings increased, Joey, a little bit more than $500 million. They're holding 528.6 million by the end of the quarter. They also purchased 4,710 new Bitcoins in May and June of this year. The holdings now represent what this article is calling a significant balance sheet asset, tying GME obviously further into the crypto market volatility, my man.
Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about its core business. As for the gaming sector, I mean, that's obviously gone in the wind. Everybody can just download their game, but as Sharif mentioned, the collectibles and those vintage games like the N64s and the things that you can't necessarily download, is that going to save GameStop? Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be substantial enough. You'll probably see more stores closing down, but one thing that is going for them is like what a lot of these other companies are starting to do. Absorb Bitcoin. And if they continue to do that and you get the appreciation of the underlying asset itself, then you know what, maybe it may save the company. But for me, if we look at this daily chart, are you putting your money in this?
No.
Yeah, regardless.
No,
so just from a fundamental standpoint, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the only really major thing that they have going on. It's great that they've done $250 million in collectibles, whatever it may be. but I don't think it's enough to save the whole company.
Yeah, and it could be very cyclical too. It's
exactly,
hot now, it's
right?
not.
And then what happens when the consumer starts to cool down more? Are people going to be spending their money on these types of things?
Probably not.
Right? So.
I want to mention one quick thing before we go to Adara. They also issued a special dividend in the form of warrants. It's going to be distributed in October. So you're going to get 1 warrant per 10 shares owned, and the price it's going to be exercisable at is $32 a share. So could drive more retail enthusiasm. I have no idea. Adara, how did you look at this report? What's your take here?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I have to give GME a pat on the back because, and I'm going to ignore Oracle's guidance for a second, in terms of actual numbers and percentage of beat, I actually think GME might have had the best report last night. Now, Rubrik also, again, market did not like Rubrik. Rubrik had a solid report. I'm not going to hate on that report. Synopsys, as we're going to get into a second, can be synopsized most with this symbol. And then we also had, of course, Oracle again, despite that nice guidance, it did have a double miss. So I have to give GME props, especially when you look at it comparatively. Now, yeah, I mean, like, I honestly, I was never a gamer. I know little to nothing about this business. But as you said, Sharif, I think the retail hype is huge. And I do think the fact that lately all of these retail stocks have been crypto-based and GME has its foot in the door with crypto, I don't think it's a bad look. I don't have much to say about this except, I guess, you know, honestly, as I always say, congrats to people who are in this. Congrats to people who did well on this. And shout out to people who are, I guess, buying collectibles, because that seems to be what's keeping them afloat right now.
Do you know the name of those, you know, little
figurines?
Thank you.
By Funko. Funko is also a publicly traded company.
It is, yeah.
I have a couple of them. I have a whole bunch of. I have like a Biggies. My dad got me a Biggie one year for.
That's nice.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Batman. Whatever.
People are going buck for these though.
Right, but the thing is too is GameStop does not exclusively distribute them, which I was gonna. That's one thing I thought of too with this. Is it's hard because they have them like everywhere. I went to the antique store in Winnipeg, and for some reason they're not antiques. They were there too, right? So
they're hype. People want them, Adara.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Is if like I'm sure that's what's helping GameStop, but it's also they're not the only ones who have them, right?
Yeah,
so maybe they could. I think if those if they collaborated with Funko and an exclusive, that could be significant.
Interesting. You had something to say.
No, I was going to say I was going to ask Adara if she had any Labubus.
Yeah, do you have any Labubus, Adara? Because that's the one I was talking about with Brendo this morning.
I don't. I've heard of them. I don't know or care what it is. I'm going to be honest. They're like a creepy little demon-looking thing, right? I don't know.
Katina Man, you got one?
Katina Man, what's going on over here? Katina Man's loaded up with Labubus
he's got the
at the Katina household. All right, man. Is it Gia Katina? Gia Katina, of course. I figured. All right. They love them. Let's talk about Klarna.
All right, let's go.
Why don't we talk about Klarna since we're waiting for that IPO to
Hopefully it comes out. That'd be perfect time.
Let's talk about it. So the IPO on Klarna, guys, priced at $40 per share. That's up from the prior range. I think it was 35 to 37. Anyway, it's oversubscribed. The valuation at that $40 price target comes in at about $15 billion, obviously signaling strong demand for the offering. The deal raised about $1.37 billion, but only 1.17 of that 1.37 is going to existing shareholders. Only $200 million of which is actually being used by Klarna to expand operations. So that's really what they're raising here from the IPO. The shares are going to be on the NYSE, as we talked about, the New York Stock Exchange under ticker KLAR. And let's talk about the market context here, because we've had a lot of IPOs. The tech IPO appetite is rising again. I haven't seen it this hype since 21. Klarna did postpone its IPO from earlier in the spring because of Trump's reciprocal tariffs announcement. They wanted the economic landscape to calm down. The listing is being closely watched as a test for the buy now, pay later model. But that's not only what this company is doing anymore. In fact, Joey, they're trying to expand into that sort of bank, that digital retail bank like SoFi and Robinhood is trying to become. So they're widely recognized for that BNPL, but that's not the only thing they want to be. Their revenue streams come from 3 different methods. Here, the merchant transaction fees. So people who sell things that are, being financed, they got to pay a fee to Klarna. Then the interest from the longer term financing, and then late payment fees. That's how these buy now, pay never guys, or pay later, end up making money. If you have a missed payment, for example, you get slapped with that fee. How did they do, Joey? Their Q2 revenue was $823 million, which is up 27% 20% year over year. They're continuing to lose money as they grow. $53 million loss, which widened from the $18 million loss in a year earlier, Joey. So not something that's unusual for a company that's growing to be running at a loss.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. But I mean, revenue's still up 20% year over year. That's great stuff. But they're also they're striking some good deals over in the U.S. as well too, in the likes of Walmart and Dash. And then I think it's one Cash or something along those lines. I can't remember the name. It's not PayPal or PayCash or whatever it may be. So that's positive, right? So the more deals you have, as Sharif was mentioning, you have those merchant transaction fees. And if you're teaming up with Walmart, DoorDash, and some of these publicly traded companies and extremely popular, I think that's great for the company and it can continue to grow. So I'm interested to see what happens here as the stock actually opens up. So yeah, going to be patient on that one and see what's going on. But yeah, I like that they're teaming up with some of these names.
All right, Adira, are you taking this?
So I've been really honestly like wishy-washy on this. So initially I was like, gung-ho. Then the balance changed to sell and I was like, no. Then it was back to buy and I was like, sure. Now it's neutral. Initially, they just opened. Okay.
Okay, good. Here we go. Okay, we're live, guys.
No,
I'm not going. Here we go. It's popping up, Joey. Seller at 53. He just got taken out. So the bid is still below 53. The bid has not cleared 53. The ask did, and here we go. We're zagging, Joey. It looks like we opened up at exactly $52. Let's see if this one can clear 52. As we said, there's a seller here at 53. Oh, there it goes, baby. Up into 30 or 53, excuse me, zigging and zagging up 32%. I don't know if the boys are still involved in this one. It hasn't been decisive, Joey.
They're propsing
it's
over there.
It's zigging and zagging, though, baby. I mean, a little into 52, a little into 50. Here comes 51. Do we hold 50? This doesn't look clean, Joey.
This
doesn't look clean, baby. Here comes 50. Zigging and zagging, guys. All right, here comes that 51 again, Joey. So the buyer stepping in closer to that $0.50 Klarna, up 26%. The opening print, $52. We are losing that 51 level. We're below it on the ask. Big move down here. Well, not a big move down. It's a $2 move down. $1 now into 51. So Klarna open, guys. It is trading. It's done over 8 million shares. It has not been decisive in the direction that it wants to go. Very tight range so far, Joey Options. Essentially from 52 to 51. Can we get a move above that 53? We haven't seen that move above 53 yet, man. At least on the ask. Anyway, here it comes, Joey. It feels like we may clear 53 here.
Dang.
Up into 52s. Hot there. There it is, into 53.
Are you punching?
No, I'm not going to go into this. No, I'm not. I would have been a limit on open order. I would have taken it and then just punched out once it popped, and that clearly didn't do that. So it's continuing to zig and zag here, guys. The Katina Man made money on it, so he's happy about that. We're going to shout out the Katina Man. And, it's definitely one that was a little choppy here, but so you can extract profits on that. That's good on you. Shout out to Sean. Hey, brother, there's nothing we can do about how this one performs, right? I mean, it is what it is. So, Klarna. Okay, go. The Katina Man's going to come on. He wants to talk about his trade. So, we're going to pause for a second, wait for. Yeah, okay. I just meant pause the news. We're going to pause the news for a second. Watch as Klarna, the price action develops here, guys. We're still in that range. $50 has defended. Let's hear it, Katina Man.
So basically, kind of really a nothing burger there on the print, right? So we were watching it. It opens up at 52. We get it. It didn't go to 57, so that's not real. I mean, I was watching it. But anyways, at the end of the day, a lot of outs there at 53. Then it winds up breaking. I don't get the greatest price on the way out, man. We got like 51.50s, 51.30s are some of the lows there. So overall, honestly, probably net like 30 cents on whatever, a couple thousand shares or something like that. It's not a huge trade. Look, I mean, to your point, money is money, but at the end of the day, there it goes. It's a big FU candle right now to the red side. But remember what we said, Sharif and Joe and everybody watching. It's about, whoa, big size there, right there on the bid. 1 million shares on the bid at 50 right there. It's about risk management. Like, if I don't stop out there, then it goes all the way down to 50-50. Now it goes down to 50-50 again. Now it's at 50. So, me and Neil were like, oh man, now it's going. But you know what? Now look. So I feel pretty good about it. overall. There it goes. Watch the bid. Watch the bid. So there it is, right? So there's a big size on the bid right there. Once that's gone, you do not want to be long. So if you have stock, what's going on now? What's going on now? But there it is. That's a couple 100,000 shares. That's 400,000 shares right now. There was over 1 million there at one point. It's only done 14 million shares right now. So I would say, see you later, alligator. If you take out that 50, it's sayonara. So Neil and I sat here pretty much for 2.5 hours, and you know, per hourly rate is fine, but I would rather have been a little higher on that one. So yeah. Hey, look, the fun is there. I can call my wife now, and it was a good trade. Could always be better, but hey, a positive one is a positive one. You're not going to get the smile off my face. Let's go Laboo-boos. Let's go Laboo-boos.
Hey, I love how he threw that in there at the end.
Crazy.
Now, shout out to the Katia man, but that buyer Joey options is still there with about 6,000 or 7,000, maybe 9,000 lots, give or take, at the $50 level. Someone is loving up a storm of Klarna at 50, and there it is again, Joey. We're showing less lottage every time we come into that $50 level. It seems like the sellers eating up that 50. We'll have to see if that staunchy buyer at the $50 level continues to hang out, or whether those shares get exhausted, and whether there's anything hidden, right? It's only, we can see it clearly posted on the level 2, but it's not what we can always see that hurts us. Sometimes it's what we can't see, Joey options. So we're going to keep an eye on Klarna. What's your take on this so far, my man?
No, it's interesting stuff, right? Like, it's nothing compared to what we experienced on the past couple IPOs that just went absolutely berserk in the likes of Circle and CoreWeave. But there it is, sure enough, you're getting that breakdown, and this is the 1 minute time frame. So you do open. Katia mentioned that's not genuine. So yeah, it's fair. I thought we opened up at 53 and moved, but it's showing that print here is
52 was the open price,
so yeah. So it's a little wonky here, 52.84 we'll call it. And then it says that, but this is a bearish candle, so you have to look at it opening here, no? And then it closes here, so that there must be something wrong from a data standpoint going on with that within the platform, because that's what it's a bearish candle, opens here and then closes there. So it's essentially telling us that it opened up at 57, but that's not the case.
Yeah, that's
these guys got 52.
Wrong,
yeah, so
I think that's wrong on our platform.
Yeah. So it's completely wrong there. So yeah, just keep an eye out on that. Hopefully some of you guys didn't get your face blown off, and hopefully some of you guys made a bunch of money as well.
All right, it looks like we're gonna lose 50. Joey, we're gonna lose it. Oh wow, buyer stepped in aggressively there, popped up right in that 51, baby.
It gaps up into
my goodness. So. It keeps coming down into that 50 level. Every time we come down into that level, there's less and less lottage. I don't know, it just feels like a matter of time, and there it is.
Oh, bang.
Wow, 47.5.
Short it.
Oh my goodness, what a drop. It dropped $2.50 in
like that.
A microsecond. I mean, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Guys, if you like what you're seeing and you want to hear more about what's it called, Klarna, get into the chat right now and vote for your favorite tickers every day, whether it's WLDS or PTNM, Tesla, Oracle. There's a whole bunch going on, but you will not hear about it during the afternoon rundown unless you vote.
Oh, man.
Let's get those votes up, baby. I mean, we only have 108 shares, 108 votes for Tesla. I mean, we have over 6,000 of you guys watching. Let's get some of these numbers up. Assassino, say that again, brother. Sean. Oh, Katina man, take it over, baby.
I didn't trade any shares short there, but that break was like $2 almost immediately. So I heard Joe say, did I get any shares? I didn't even try, but I was watching the level 2. That is the risk. We just lost $1 million on the bid, and when it lost it, boy, oh boy, did it get to the downside right there. It was instantly $2. So honestly, man, that was, I'm happy to be here watching this. That short was cash, and we had said before, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, and this one was short all day. Like, that was the play right there for Klarna. My e-signal chart is also showing this, so I'm going to look at like a couple second chart there. I don't know what happened when it went to 57, but I don't think it went to 57 there. But there goes Klarna right now downside. So I hope everybody's okay. If you're shorting this name right now, don't hold it back through the IPO price. That would be my idea there. So I would just watch out for that. I wouldn't even hold it back through 50. But again, congratulations to everybody who got Klarna at 40 bucks. You know, that's a great trade right now. Anyways. just fun trading today. My hands are freezing. We're going to go out for a walk, get a coffee, get a beer, something like that. And then we'll see. No, we're not going to do that. We'll see you guys back at 2 p.m. But that was a fun little ride there on Klarna. Thanks for sticking with us. It's Trader TV Live, baby. These guys crushing it over there. Great analysis on. It's funny. You guys just did the story, Joe, about Klarna. And then it was like a minute later, it had opened back up. So shout out to Adara, Sharif, and Joe there for covering that. And a big shout out actually to Adara as well, because she was like, she wasn't certain on this IPO. And Adara, awesome, you nailed that one. It did not print higher. Sure, it looks like it did, but that 57, I'm telling you, trust me, I was sitting here like glued to the screens, did not see it go there. Could have been maybe 100 or so shares, but fell right back in. I think we all did pretty good. I can tell Neil's not here right now, but he also very similar chart to mine where we got out early and then let it drop through. My problem is I only got out of about 40%. So, and that was only for $1. But we've had bigger trades live on the air. It's too bad Klarna didn't wind up going, but thanks for sticking with us. And guess what? Gemini is Friday. There's a lot of IPOs coming. There's Neil right now. There's a lot of IPOs coming. So let's just say we got away with one here. I think, Neil, it broke 50 and went. Oh my God. You all right? It broke 50. Neil just threw up all over it. Now we got to clean up your monitor. Oh, they can see everything. They know you didn't throw up. So anyways, yeah, it broke 50 and $2 immediately. There's nothing you could have done about it. So that's where, yeah, Neil just said thank God as well. So thank to Jesus Cristo for that one. And we are out of it. We'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. All right.
Katina, man, always appreciate you coming in. Guys, don't forget that the IPO price is $40 a share. So if we continue to sell off, look for support at $40. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's obviously the psychological area of support since it's the $10 level, but that is the IPO price. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on Klarna, and the boys will let us know if anything's happening, so we'll get back to that. Let's just talk about Chewy here for a second. Joseph Options. Yeah. So this was a really bad day, or really bad night, I want to say, for Chewy. Chewy's still down aggressively here, 16.33%, and it's basically at the lows. So really, really big drop here. Coming on the back of this report, Q2 profit came in at $62 million, well below last year's $300 million take-home money, or about 68 pennies a share. Results really were weighed down by about a $79 million share-based compensation expense, as well as related taxes. So we've talked about share-based compensation being a bit of a drag on earnings, as well as diluting shareholder or the share pool. Adjusted EPS came in at 33 pennies. That was in line with the street's expectations. Their revenue performance was decent. It was up 8.6% year over year, up to $3.1 billion, slightly above the 3.08 expected by Wall Street. Revenue growth was driven by a customer base expansion, as well as though margins did compress. So they were able to expand their total number of buyers and customers, but they're not making as much per customer. Sales per active customer were about $591 per active customer. That was consistent with what the street was looking for. They did add, Joey, about 150,000 new active customers, bringing the total now to about 21 million active customers on their service. Now, with respect to the guide, Q3 guidance for adjusted EPS came in between 28 to 33 pennies on sales revenue, 3.07 to 3.1 billion. The street was expecting 30 pennies, so the guidance aligns with consensus in their full-year sales outlook, Joey. They raised it slightly, 12.5 to 12.6 billion compared to the 12.3 to 12.45.
Ooh, I mean, in 2020 you could throw a dart at anything. You didn't even have to be at the board. You just throw it, and the chances of you making some money in the stock market were there. Because Chewy went up to $120 all the way from south of 30, but now you're currently sitting down 71%. I don't know if this name will ever recover, and considering that the price of pet food is extremely high, I'm surprised by this.
Yeah, how did their margins compress?
Right.
I don't even want to say what we're spending on Betty and Veronica every month, but it's
crazy.
It's
Do you feed them kibble or raw?
No, man, it's a mix of dry food with the raw stuff. We keep that bad boy in the fridge. You know what I do? There's a sick butcher down the road.
Oh, yeah.
And he puts a nice little
blend there for you.
concoction for me there.
That's nice.
It's good. So you save a couple of bucks there, but yeah, it's still expensive.
It's really expensive.
Adara, this was a bad report. They did guide for full year 2026 higher revenue, but things don't seem to be going on well over there.
Yeah, it was kind of a dog, this one. I'm sorry I had to make the pun. I don't have too much to say about this. I'm quite excited about Synopsys. That one was a wild report. But yeah, I mean, Chewy, they did have a year-over-year increase in sales, which is, or I guess net sales, sorry, so that is something. But yeah, I mean, it is always worth noting here when you do have, I guess, expenses or costs factored into the numbers, like the adjustments there, that $79.1 million share-based compensation expense is worth noting, and I guess it maybe, you know, the one optimistic part of this report is like, hey, you might not have to worry about that next quarter. But yeah, not too much to say. It is funny, of the two Ryan Cohen names here, for once, GameStop well outperforming Chewy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I never even thought about that. I definitely wouldn't have pegged that, but hey, that's the way it is. Let's go on to Synopsys. Adara's pumped for this, and the market was not. All sorts of tanked. Let's have a look. Oh, we're only down 35%. Joey, we were at $600 today. Now we're at $392. So I don't mean to make light of that, because there's probably people that are holding on to this. Let's talk about how they did. Revenue, Joey, $1.75 billion. That was up 14% year over year, but less than what the street was looking for. They wanted 1.77. EPS came in at 339. That missed the 384 expected by the street. So miss on the top and bottom line, never really a good sign. Here's how they did in their different segments. Mostly they were weak. There were a couple of outliers. I want to say maintenance and service, they beat expectations. They also grew about 18%. And their design automation, apparently 1.31 billion, ahead of the 1.23, and growing very healthy, 23.5%. Not a lot else good to say about this. I know Adara's got to take. What's your opinion?
It's really tough, Shreve. And this is where, again, I don't play these small cap names. This isn't small cap, but what I'm getting at is the Hall parameters. You wake up, you go to bed one day, and then sure enough, you have a stock that's at $600, and then you wake up, it's at $391. That's where I believe something needs to be halted, because if you lose 34% of the value of the underlying in just a matter of a couple minutes, and obviously throughout the intraday session, it's just this gap down here is too lofty, and that's where I believe Hall parameters should most definitely step in. So that's a really tough look from a technical standpoint, and it doesn't get any better from a weekly either. No. To be honest, like this trend is here, but then sure enough, you're heading right back into March of April of 2025 levels, relatively quick, just like that. And the chance of the continuation of the bleeding is most definitely there, considering the report.
Yeah, and just given the fact that it lost 35%, it's at 73 2/3 billion market cap. Just imagine the market cap loss there.
Right?
Just
so
forget about the percentage increase, right?
It's insane. So that's tough. That's why I believe those parameters should come into play.
I think we got to go to Adara for her opinion on this, and she's got news.
On a draft California bill, called SB 237. Texas Capital Securities calling this draft SB 237 bill a significant positive for Berry Corporation. So I'll have to look more into that. But Berry Corporation, BRY, making a bit of a pop here. Let's talk about SNPS. Yeah, this is wow. Look at the price. I just want to talk about the price targets here. All of these, okay, so two of them were downgrades, 2 were price target decreases. All of these price targets, guys, are almost $200 more than where Synopsys is currently trading. Crazy. So this is very sad. And I think this, like, I was not expecting this to drop as much as it did. You know, you think, oh, maybe, you come back, maybe you bounce. No, it just dropped right off the open. It was dropping well below 400. I will say, from a trading perspective, the spread on this has been, for this type of stock, pretty clean. And the volume on this is a lot more than you usually get, even on spready tickers on earnings, sorry. So almost 15 million shares traded on the day for SNPS. To synopsize it, this report is not the best, but I will also say it's weird because you do have that massive EPS miss for the guidance, and then also for fiscal 2025, they lowered their EPS guidance, but they raised their sales guidance, and their sales guide for the quarter is also better than expected. So I I'm curious as to why there's that divide. That's the one interesting thing I noticed there.
Yeah, usually, I don't know. I'm just completely speculating. Sometimes they're one-off line items. Sometimes it's growth stuff. We'll have to wait and see. Stock-based compensation seems to be making a lot of appearances lately with respect to adjusting EPS. Guys, I want to bring your attention back to Klarna. This is a new IPO that opened up long ago. It opened up at $52. It is down now into $49. It has been as low as $45 and as high as, well, it never broke 52, Joey. I think 52.07 is the high of the day. I know our platform on our exchange is wrong. It says 57.20. That's inaccurate. So it is trying to work its way back up, guys. The IPO price officially is $40. It opened up for trading at 52. So Klarna, KLAR on the New York Stock Exchange, a new IPO today. Go ahead, Joey.
Before we hop into Palantir, because I want to talk about
go ahead,
Palantir. I
Joey.
love this story. I want to just touch on the market here quick to see what some of these mega cap names. I know we're just going over Klarna, fantastic stuff, but you can see that the Nasdaq is taking an additional leg lower and starting to pick up some momentum as Apple is starting to bleed and could barely get back to the volume weighted average price. So we're starting to see these mega caps really come back in. You had that break of trend in some of the crypto names as well too, but heading right back in. South of the volume weighted average price is Ethereum, and momentum is drastically starting to pick up. So keep an eye out on this. Microsoft, again, heading towards some key support levels. And then we had an individual asking about Amazon. That's the tough thing, right? Like for me personally, a lot of us are going to be looking at this as a potential buy signal, but today is going to be one of those sessions where Oracle's holding up relatively well and the rest of the market is going to do what it wants to do, but considering that Apple is extremely weak on the session.
Absolutely, Joseph. Let's talk a little Palantir, baby. This is one of the fan favorites always on the top leaderboards list. And they announced a partnership today with Hayden, one of the UK's leading defense tech startups. Oh, baby. The warmongering is continuing. Well, we know what's going on in the world. So Hayden's advanced wargaming, command and control, and battlefield training program will now actually be deployed on Palantir's Foundry program. The integration obviously enhances Palantir's defense footprint, not like they didn't have a footprint there already, but it builds on the global presence, not just the United States anymore. And you got to love how this is not a government contract. This is a commercial deal, which they're expanding, which you got to love. I mean, I don't like relying on the government. Hayden provides out-of-the-box AI-powered simulation and orchestration tools, enabling armed forces around the world to rehearse, train, and plan combat scenarios. The AI generates dynamic scenarios and agents representing virtual forces, allowing training in both live and virtual environments, Joey. Back as well, I want to say another connection with the United Kingdom there. In 2024, Hayden gained a $20 million enterprise agreement with the UK Ministry of Defense and looking, obviously, to deploy some of that money, baby.
So we know that Palantir's government and commercial contracts have just, over the past little while, have been going through the roof. But then when we look through their past earnings report, what we noticed, Sharif, is that the international growth is relatively modest, sitting around 3%. But now they're striking deals with Japan, and now they're striking the deals with the UK. So as for me, and we talked about this, in order for this company continue to grow, did they need to expand their customer base? And we're starting to see that in the likes of the Japan deal, and then also in this UK deal as well.
And you got to love, and it's both, Joey. Even if they get government contracts, they're not just the United States government anymore. You got to love that. Yeah, you said Japan. I know.
Exactly. So that's what I'm getting at. Is like the growth from its international sales was relatively modest, 3%.
Absolutely.
Nothing substantial compared to what we're seeing over here in what it's seen in the United States. But now it's starting to lock in more deals across the globe, and I think that's going to be a big sector of the company that we're going to see some growth in and can help sustain its price.
Let's just get even more honest. When do we start seeing Europe buying this en masse? I think that's okay. Let's just be even more honest. Okay. There's going to have to be fundamental changes in the way that Europe is kind of organized militarily because of what's going on right now. Even if a deal is struck between Russia and Ukraine, they're in the process of rearming. We've seen Germany rearming, so there's going to be a lot of potential clients. You got to think on the continent.
Absolutely, I think so, and I totally agree on that front. But I mean, maybe these guys should start building some data centers as well too. There's some things in Europe that need to get really rocking and rolling. So I don't know if defense is at the top of the list.
All right, Adair's on break, so we'll go on to Novo Nordisk.
Ooh, this is hers.
This is hopefully she's back by this. I never really want to celebrate this. Who does? Who wants to celebrate layoffs? But that's exactly what happened here, guys. 9,000 jobs are going to be cut, or about 11.5% of the global workforce for Novo Nordisk as a broad restructuring effort. About 5,000 of those 9,000 jobs are going to be eliminated in Denmark, reflecting a significant local impact. In fact, we talked about Denmark changing its GDP outlook for the year as a result of Novo Nordisk's, I don't want to call it plight, but local weakness over here. So that's how important this company is for Denmark. The aim here by Novo Nordisk is to simplify the organizational structure, speed up the decision-making processes, and relocate resources to what they're saying is the most important area for them, diabetes and obesity growth opportunities. So we shall see exactly what they do there, Joey. The layoffs will incur, so they have to pay people packages when they lay them off, severance or whatever it's called. They will incur a one-off cost of about $1.26 billion, or about 8 billion Danish kroners. Full year, operating profit growth guidance is revised down as a result of that 1.26 billion they're going to have to pay out. Previously, they were guiding 10 to 16. Now they're saying 4 to 10% for profit growth guidance. And last but not least here, Joey, this is the first major move by the new CEO, Magyar Mike Dustadar. Butchered that, sorry, who took over last month after Lars Jorgensen's surprise exit. The new CEO emphasized the urgency in defending diabetes, obesity leadership.
Yeah.
That's where they see they have their moat there, Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know. Is a whole country really that dependent on this one company? Considering, as you just mentioned, 5,000 job cuts, but then also you decrease your GDP after that. I mean, the states just projected essentially almost 1 million less jobs than what was actually there, and we got $5,000, 5,000 job cuts here, which is I find slightly comical.
Your friend Eric Cooper is really angry in the chat.
What do you say?
Calm down, Eric. It's said DISC because it's a European company. I know what I say DISC, you idiot. Anyway, Adara, what's your look on Novo Nordisk for your friend there, Eric, or something or another in the chat?
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, my take on Novo is that. Like I said, I've said this many times. I think this one's actually a really deceptive one in terms of the stock moves, and maybe partially because it's an ADR, because we know that's usually how some of these ADR moves. It'll gap up, and it'll just kind of chill and do absolutely nothing throughout the day. I was trying to find a photo of Magyar Mike Dustadar, but then I accidentally opened a Danish website with instructions I didn't understand. So let's see if I can find this photo here for, there we go. Here he is. So this is Magyar Mike Dustadar. This is maybe not the best photo of him. But yeah, he was an inside hire. I talked about this. He had been with the company for upwards of 20 years. So kind of similar pick, I guess, to what Nike did when they picked Elliott Hill, who was a longtime insider, but not anyone who was at a C-suite level. So yeah, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. I think it makes sense to try to make drastic change, but hopefully the drastic change, you don't want to go overboard either, right? So I understand, like, the inclination to be, and not like I'm a CEO or anything, but you want to make it appear you're doing something, right? Now, hopefully the thing they're appearing to do is helpful, and unlike, when Brian Nickel came into Starbucks and said we need 200,000 Sharpies and got rid of the fun drinks or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about the actual business of pharmacy to talk too much on this, other than I follow the actual statistics of the drugs, but yeah, wait and see.
Great call there, Derek. Just want to bring everybody's attention again. Want to update you on Klarna. It's trying to break back above that $50 area. It opened up at $52, dropped as low as $45.44. Since making that area low, it has been putting in higher highs and higher lows. But Joey has been having some trouble with that $50 area, unable to close above it, despite opening up at $52. So Klarna, guys, a new IPO opened, I want to say at 110. So we're about 25 minutes deep into this one, trying to take out 50. Joey, any comment on this?
Yeah, as for, Klarna, it's going to continue to do its thing there. But as for ASST, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a horrible short, but you got to look at it from a daily, right? So you just get into repeat offender mode, and then sure enough, look at the ebbs and flows of this. So are you really surprised that you have this massive gap up and then you come right back into the kind of the middle of the range? Not overly, right? So with these types of names, expect what happened once is probably going to happen again, all right? So keep in mind and just be cautious when you're trading these things, as Sharif always says.
All right, guys, Google Cloud revenue and expansion outlook. Good look here, guys. So Google Cloud expects 55% of its $106 billion backlog to actually get converted into revenue over the next 2 years. The projection, it excludes, though, any new contracts or any new clients that they pick up, highlighting, obviously, the strong visibility that the company has into their future projections. The annual run rate revenue already surpassed $50 billion as of the July earnings, so that's just cake on top. Let's talk about their customer and AI adoption. Are they even up on the day? Yeah, they're like one of the only well, that's not true. It's a mixed bag today. We're going to pause for a second, let all the new traders know to listen up. The first month, it's free. Are you listening, Ozan? That's right. We're waiving the fees so you can trade smarter, not harder, by upgrading to Elite Experience, where you'll be able to analyze, strategize, and capitalize on their platform that has everything. We're talking infinite data. We're talking instant trading, lightning fast market insights, and game-changing charts. You can predict better with their backtesting tool, guys. You get reliable real-time data, global markets at the tips of your fingers, all in one platform, Joey. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. If you're ready to elevate trading, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Shout out to the great folks at eSignal.
What's up, Randy?
Oh,
it's free.
Free.
Yeah.
The first month, baby, it's free.
The first month is free.
Just like you know something else. First time's free. Joseph's like, what? I wasn't born in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's an 80s thing, bro. You
So you got a lot. You guys got a lot of free stuff back then, eh?
Yes, the Columbia House. Where is that company now, man? Did you ever pay? I always ordered and never paid, and they couldn't do anything because you're a minor. They can't enforce it
or something. What is
Columbia House? Yeah, I don't blame you, Columbia. I get it, right? No, man, they would send you free tapes and CDs, but you had to promise to buy a CD from them at a higher price, like once or like a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah?
But nobody ever did. So you get all the free CDs and they just like screw them.
Great business.
It was great, bro. It was great.
So shout out to
Columbia House.
Shout out to
Crazy.
Shout out
Neil. Yes, bro. People built a collection off robbing Columbia House.
No way.
I'm not kidding.
Neil just said he had 200
Yeah,
CDs.
he's got...
Neil, you dirty dog, you, Neil. I'll never.
Apparently, GameStop is squeezing.
Be getting those. Shout out to HMV though, by the way.
No, it's not squeezing. What's going on, man? All right, let's keep going here, Joey. Let's talk about their Google Cloud and the AI adoption. Google Cloud, as we know from their earnings report, reported 28% quarter-over-quarter increase in new customers. Among its clients are 9 of the top 10 AI labs, including your friends at Anthropic and OpenAI. Shout out to Altman and crew. And obviously reinforces Google's cloud positioning as a major AI infrastructure provider, Joey. Google Cloud accounted for only 14%, though, of Alphabet's revenue, but it remains one of the fastest growing divisions within the company, so it is very much important. And it did outpace Azure, strengthening its position as one of the, the growing ones.
The prolific ones, yeah, and I think it's going to continue on that pace, especially with the hyperscalers continuously spending all this money, AI spend. Until that cools down, I'm going to go hand in hand with CapEx and then cloud. You're going to both see them continuously grow, and it's great to see that Google's starting to do that, teaming up, kind of diversifying. They got an OpenAI deal, I'm pretty sure, as well, too. So
yes, they
got a lot of things going on for them, and I think that this cloud is going to continuously grow. Get outside of this, and cloud storage needs to be used.
Oh, yeah, we're doing quantum, man?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But again, for the foreseeable future, I like the growth of not only Google, but just cloud spend in general.
And I think you're going to like this headline even better.
Tell me.
Alphabet to launch Google Cloud Universal Ledger in 2026, entering blockchain finance. Oh, no.
As soon as I seen Ledger there.
That's all you saw.
That's very interesting.
I know you're about that life.
Absolutely.
That could rival Ripple's XRP Ledger as well, positioning Alphabet as a digital payments and tokenization.
And see, that's the thing. Imagine they were to get involved into that stuff.
They are.
So, right?
Joey?
So, exactly. Yeah. So when they can take some serious market share and do some damage to some of these other names.
Do you think this is a big deal, Adara? I mean, it's like almost a $3 trillion company now. That was quiet. That was a quick $3 trillion, $2.914 billion. You think this tokenization thing is a big deal for Google, or they just need to focus on what's working? Cloud booming, going for cloud.
So I'm just eating the lunch now. I apologize for that. But yeah, I mean, I think, again, the fact that it's such a small percentage of their overall revenue, I didn't really realize, and B, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't have too much to say on this.
Okay.
Like, the cloud percentage of the revenue seems pretty small. But I mean, if you're like growth is always good, right? They've got that sequential growth, and the fact that OpenAI and Anthropic are clients suggests that they can probably deliver on the growth they're expecting. So.
I think they deliver and surpass it. To be honest,
I think so too.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I have to say.
Just because of spend, right? Just because of all this AI spend.
And
it's exactly in customer base. So it's good stuff. Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody again, we are still watching Klarna, guys. Klarna did reject $50. It tried to work up to 50. A candle of indecision manifested right at that 50 area with a very big upper and lower wick and almost no body. And down we go again. We're heading into 47.5. Just lost 48 momentarily. Again, Klarna opened up at $52. It basically sold off. It zigged and zagged. It didn't really know what it wanted to do. And down we go. It looks like maybe we're heading back to those lows. But look for that $50 level. It does seem to be acting at least as a local area of resistance. Not like we have a lot of data off which to base that, Joey. But $50 acting as a staunch chilly little bugger right now. Let's go on to hims and hers. They're looking to expand into testosterone treatment. They will launch treatments for men with low testosterone starting on Wednesday. Initial therapy is going to be a compounded version of NCLUP IFIN, I don't know, off-label testosterone treatment. Here's the pricing as per Bloomberg. If you get a 3-month plan, you're going to pay about $200 a month. That's like $400 less than their plan for their GLP-1s, by the way. A 5-month plan, run you a little cheaper. You'll pay about $140 a month. And if you sign up long-term meaning 10 months, you pay $100 a month. Again, prices are still subject to adjustment. This is being reported by Bloomberg. It's a strategic expansion here. We've seen the issues that Hims and Hers has had with companies like Novo Nordisk and as well as Eli Lilly. And as well, they had to put up with the what's called the the FDA, because they were making compounded versions, illegally for that matter, of these GLP-1s. So there's a whole bunch of headwinds for them. So they're looking to diversify their moat, Joey. And while starting with men, Hims plans to expand into hormonal therapies for women, for menopause and stuff like that. So good expansion of their moat, Joey.
I like that, to be honest with you, Sharif. Yeah, why isn't it pulling up?
Ronak Kumar, you're killing me, bro.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. I just want to digress a second here, Sharif, just so you can see this here.
What?
I won't be buying you those.
You're going to be buying me those. You're going to be buying me those.
There's zero chance I won't be getting it.
Come look at that. Come look at those, Ram. Did you send that to him, Ram?
No.
How'd you get your hands on that?
Mr. Westermeyer sent it.
That's what I couldn't understand what you were talking about, West. I didn't get it. That's why I didn't want to respond.
Mr. Westermeyer.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. D. Westermeyer.
Yeah, D. Westermeyer, yeah.
20, Ram.
$3,000.
These jeans are $2,900.
They look like a.
Zoom in, Joey.
They look like like they're cut there as well too.
I'm gonna want those ones, Joey.
They don't even look full.
You better punch into ETH, my man. You better punch.
I better punch significantly heavier for sure. But no, in all seriousness, as for Hims, we know that they were running into some trouble for quite some time. But now I like this testosterone treatment that they're starting to lead into, holding that $42 level relatively well. And I'm not going to complain, right? So if it's easier, accessible for individuals who like to get on that replacement treatment, then by all means. I have a couple guys on my hockey team.
Are those capris, bro?
I have no idea,
Those are
brother.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want those, bro.
I would buy you like a pair of Gucci's or Louis Vuitton.
Those are cheaper than that.
Yeah,
Gucci's already like $500.
Yeah, exactly. So, but as from a technical standpoint, Shreve, you're still bouncing off this 42 level, which is pretty good, up 26%.
Yeah, off the lows?
Yeah,
double bottom off the lows.
Yeah, exactly. Joey. Triple even here.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, good
1,
call.
2, 3.
Dara, what's your take on this Hims and Hers expansioning their remote? We like you've reported on it many times with the beef with some of these GLP-1 companies. Is the right move?
I find their CEO to be a little sassy is the word I'll use. Andrew Dividend. He kept going like, oh, we're going to get them, like Novo and Lilly, like, oh, well, specifically Novo, like, oh, we're going to make sure we can have our GLPs. I'm like, I don't know. He's kind of, I think, trying to go for a Musk thing that I don't really understand. My opinions on the CEO aside, I will say, one thing I will say is that, and apparently I was looking up too, apparently he has some other controversies as well. Like, when you have a controversy section on Wikipedia, you're doing something.
Fair.
Which he does, which this man does, to be clear. But yeah, with beyond my Andrew Dividend related issues, I do think like we run into an issue where, and I don't know, and to avoid like creepy internet ads, I didn't do too much research into this, but like, who are the people making testosterone right now? Like, who are like the Novos and Lilies of the testosterone
there's
space?
plenty
And
of
are they
there,
going to have the same issues with HIMS that Novo and Lilly have? That is honestly my concern, and I think especially, you know, like the whole the compounded whatever, the backdoor.
Yeah.
Like that, I know that's how HIMS makes his money, but I think unless you can actually get some kind of deal with the testosterone people, I think you're always going to have that, in my opinion.
The good thing about this, Adira, is like the testosterone is really an old product. So if you had,
that's one good thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you had like a license for it, or sorry, the IP rights for it, it's probably lapsed already. Like anyway,
that's
I personally don't feel they're going to have the same thing. But great point. I don't think they're going to have the same problems just because of the age of the product. But yeah, that's great. Can I ask what the controversies are for this guy?
Okay, so one of them was just about like hiring, I guess, protesters, or I guess him calling for the hiring of protesters.
Okay.
So the stuff in the Middle East. The second one, though, I can talk a little bit more about. So this was earlier this year. I guess he has a San Francisco donut shop called, and I am not joking, George's Donuts in Merriman. His name is not George, so okay. But anyways, apparently there was some backlash because Hims and Hers donated to Trump. And then, but I don't know why that impacted the donuts. Anyway, those are his controversies. And yeah, again, odd that this man has a whole controversy section on Wikipedia.
That's the way it is. Thank you, Adira, for that. Did not know. Let's go on to the next segment. Oh boy, this is a little juicy one here, Joey Options.
Yeah.
Judge blocks Trump from firing Fed Governor Lisa Cook. Let's get right down to it. U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb granted a preliminary injunction preventing President Donald Trump from removing Fed Governor Lisa Cook. Cobb, the judge, ruled that the Federal Reserve's Act for Cause provision only allows removal for behavior while in office, not for actions prior to appointment. This means Cook will continue serving and will participate in the September 16th to 17th Fed meeting, where a rate cut is widely expected. Now we're talking about 50 bips. We'll have to see if that manifests. Here are the allegations in case you're newer to the story. Trump cited alleged mortgage fraud linked documents to Cook signed before joining the Federal Reserve as a basis for removing her. Cook denies any wrongdoing for her part. President Donald Trump had already spent months pressuring the Fed chair and Jerome Powell to cut rates, even considering Powell's removal and showing up at the Fed, which I absolutely loved. If Cook were removed, Trump could appoint a replacement, giving him a majority of board nominees, as he's already got somebody working their way through the Senate.
I can and keep the mic near to my mouth, but I'll try.
Derry, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. Cook is the first, so her removal attempts marked the first time a president has tried to remove a Fed governor for cause. Her attorney argued, Joey, that it would be unlawful and undermine financial stability and the rule of law. Yeah. So we'll have to see, obviously, Trump's nominee, Stephen Moran, making the rounds through the Senate for confirmation onto the FBI.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this before, and we just brought up the point that it's regardless that she potentially made some criminal offenses, but she did this before she was in office with some of the purchases of the House. Yep. But I think it's really important that obviously the government stays separate from what the Fed is up to, so the Fed can keep its independence. You don't want Donald Trump, if he was able to fire one individual, what do you think he would do immediately after? He would do the exact same thing and try to make it just get all the Democrats out of essentially the FOMC. So at the end of the day, I think it's more or less of a tough look. I had another point here. I can't think of. No, I can't. It slipped my mind. But yeah, I think the independence is extremely important. I'm glad that it got blocked. So.
And it's widely expected, Joey, that this will be appealed to the Supreme Court, where we expect that to head. So this is my understanding. This is a first level court. We haven't even got to the appellate court yet.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't. So maybe you and Adira can bring some light to this. Is that how did her file even get pulled in the first place? I think that was
Adira will
I think that was one of my bigger questions. Yeah, exactly. So
go ahead, Adira.
There you go.
We don't know.
That face was great.
That
was great,
Adira.
Right?
Why her file got pulled, Joe?
Yeah.
Usually a file gets pulled because there's some kind of investigation being launched, but as we know, there was no investigation launched at the time. Bill Pulte started this.
Right.
Now, we know that there have been some other individuals who are of the Democratic Party, I'm just going to be honest about it, who have recently had mortgage scandals here. Letitia James, New York Attorney General, and then we also had Adam Schiff. So the reason I bring this up is because I did a lot of deep dive into this. None of these individuals actually had formal investigations. And so everyone was wondering, how did their mortgages get pulled? Seems like Pulte apparently and his team just decided to look into these. So I actually wonder if they did like a whole deep dive on the whole Fed. I don't know. That's maybe a theory. And they were just like, we can run with this one because like, I think that's really, Joe, this is the thing I've been wondering about too. Usually, and I was reading like from people who've actually worked for these organizations, they say they don't pull random mortgages. This is not how it's done, unless I guess they have a motivation. I have a lot more straight, but what were you?
Yeah, no, go ahead, Adira.
Okay, well, yeah. So I also want to address because I know there's a whole conspiracy theory going around. Oh, the judge was in the same sorority as Lisa Cook. She's biased. Again, that sorority is massive. Serena Williams was in this sorority. They weren't even at the same school or in the same state. So I just want to put that out there. I do not know if there's a massive sorority conspiracy, though I will acknowledge that Lisa Cook's sorority did come out and support her. So take that how you will. But I mean, here's the Fed right now, right? Stephen Myron, again, still, I thought it was Moran, but then during the nominations, they called him both, but they mostly called him Myron, so I'm going to say Myron. Anyway, Stephen Myron, who apparently had his nomination, is now on to the next level. So the Senate Banking Committee voted on party lines 13-11. He's moving on, but the biggest issue that came up at his meeting, and I'm going to tie this into Fed's Cook because the Fed's independence thing, is the fact that he will still stay as the leader of the Council of Economic Advisors, at least like, on unpaid leave during his Fed term, which, whiffs a little bit. Some people are worried about a lack of Fed independence, because the idea is that some people are raising questions. Well, if you are still employed by the government and you want Trump to not fire you, are you sure you can vote in an unbiased way? And then people are saying that the best look for him would just be to step down from the CEA. He seemed very much like he was not going to do that, and he has no interest in doing that. So that was a bit of a point of contention. I don't know. The nomination hearing was very spicy. And guys, if you like watching Senate hearings as I do, you can find them all online. Just
I love it. All right, here's my take on this. So I find that the judges, basically, she read the Federal Reserve Act for-cause provision as only allowing removal for behavior while in office. I think that's a question of law, which is a great stair step for appeal, because typically questions of fact can't be challenged unless they're patently unreasonable. That's the decider, the fact finder, right? The decider of the law is always the judge. So that's why that is a very, very clear level appeal. So we'll have to see whether or not the appeals court and the Supreme Court read it in the same way that she did, which is for cause has to be while in office as opposed to anything before office. Again, I venture to think if she had been, obviously she probably wouldn't have gotten the job if she had been a convicted murderer, or if she had murdered somebody before taking office as a Fed chair. Would that not be a ground for removing her just because she had done it before? So it sounds insane, and I'm taking it to its most extreme, but that's the thing, right? At what point do you say, no, that was too far in the past? In addition, Adira, I feel, because I'm not saying she's guilty, it's a crime of dishonesty or an action of dishonesty, as opposed to, getting in a bar fight or getting in a fight in school where you can say, you just lost your temper. It's something that you deliberated, you did willingly. Again, if she's guilty, we don't know if she is. So that's where I kind of draw a little bit of the line. Go ahead.
I was just going to say there, I think I agree with you, and that's what makes it really fascinating, right? Because either way, this is going to be groundbreaking. We've never had a president try to fire a Fed member. So it's going to be, I think, really interesting either way as someone who enjoys, law as a concept. I think, this will be really fascinating to see either way how it shakes out, because there's a lot of, certainly, as you said, legal issues here beyond whatever, the sorority, the judge, whatever. There are legal issues at play. And I think I will respect, from what I've read of the judge's decision and her deliberation process going into it, I do think, to her credit, that she definitely tried to evaluate it as an issue of law. Let's see where that progresses.
Sounds good, Adair. Thank you for that. Love the angle there. Last story, guys. Supreme Court fast tracks Trump's tariff appeal. Last one, we're going to talk about this one. So the Supreme Court, Joey, granted Trump's administration request to hear appeals over rulings that many of Trump's tariffs are illegal. The case will be heard in an expedited timeline with oral arguments scheduled for the first week of November. The court consolidated 2 separate cases involving small businesses and a dozen states challenging the tariffs. So they're being put together. Now, this is really important because typically the Supreme Court would have heard arguments in November at earliest and then held their decision back until June, where they give a lot of their decisions. That obviously would have invalidated the tariffs because they're set to be invalidated, I think, October 14th is what the appellate level court said. So it's makes sense that we get this decision sooner rather than later, however it ends up being. What's at stake here, Joey? The Treasury Department apparently could be forced to refund $750 billion to $1 trillion in already collected tariffs if the lower court ruling is upheld. The refund would represent one of the largest fiscal reversals in U.S. history, potentially jolting federal revenues and trade balances. Nearly 70%, Joey, of all U.S. imports are affected by Trump tariffs, according to the Tax Foundation. And the reciprocal tariffs, as we know, announced April 2nd. Baseline 10% tariffs, Joey, up to 50% on countries like Brazil and India, an additional 25 on percentage points on Canada, China, and Mexico.
Yeah, you know what I think at the end of the day is that they're just trying to give Trump a significantly harder time. Is America going to return that money? Probably not at the end of the day. I don't think they're going to. Is it logical to? No, I wouldn't even have brought this up or continuously fought this at the end of the day. If he's bringing in almost $1 trillion, accept it for what it is. And that's how I specifically look at it. I don't think they're going to return a dime.
I respect that. Yeah, so that's you're projecting that.
Yeah, I don't
that
think
would be huge, Joey, because apparently they don't have the money, fiscally anyway, so they would have to issue new treasuries. And new treasuries means that you're paying debt on that. You're already paying $1 trillion in just interest payments. Imagine paying $1 trillion just on your credit card payments. That's crazy.
So,
all right, Adara, we got a few minutes left. Give us your take on this last story.
I mean, honestly, like I said prior, I think this is a really tricky situation with no easy answers, and I'm not an economist or a lawyer or a judge, so I don't want to step too into this as an area of law that I understand a lot less. What I will say is that, again, much like with the Fed's Cook situation, I hope that all these decisions are made, again, in the essence of the law. I do understand, given the whole, I guess, emphasis on this and whether or not it was an economic emergency. With that being said, I do understand why the lower court made the decision it did, because you could argue in a lot of cases in Brazil that there was no economic emergency argument to be made, right? There was an extent to which the tariffs seemed punitive.
Well, explain why, because they had a trade imbalance.
Brazil was subject to one of the highest tariffs, 50% reciprocal tariff, but U.S. actually not only is a surplus with Brazil, but that surplus grew by over 20% in 2024. So that's why
you want my opinion? I think he's just mad at Brazil because they're cozying up to China.
There's a couple reasons I think that he's mad at Brazil.
And the president as well.
Either way, so that's why I'm saying, and I'm not trying to make any, I'm just saying based on what the judge, what the judges have to look at, is it an emergency? I think there are some, there are obviously situations where the U.S. is facing deficits. I know there's non-tariff barriers, et cetera. There's other issues at stake, but the biggest thing I think that is important is, was this an economic emergency that warranted the intense actions of Liberation Day? That's what the judges have to decide on. I think you can make the argument that it was not warranted.
Joey?
Yeah, just to add to your point there, Sharif, as they're cozying up to China. So why would you even want to restructure a deal with a country in which Adara said you're operating at a surplus in? It just doesn't make too much sense to me personally. So,
and that's what the general thinking is here. He's a little bit annoyed with Brazil.
But then that's personal, right? At the end of the day.
Well,
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. So.
All right, guys, as we wind down and the big kahunas get ready to go, I want to remind you that Klarna, an IPO today, it's still well ahead of the IPO price. The official IPO price is $40. It opened up, though, at $52 and has been basically, making lower lows and lower highs since that time. The low of the day, guys, is $45.44. Here we go again. Pardon me. We dropped down into about 46.5. The closing prints haven't been really below all that much. 47. 47 generally has been holding. The wicks did go, as I mentioned, to 45, 44. That is the LOD. But generally, there have been buyers around 47. This is not a good-looking chart pattern, despite the fact that, we don't see it in the full context because there's nothing to show prior to this. This is brand new. This looks like a bear flag. It looks like it's going to break down into the area lows. That That's just my read on it so far. Anything can happen, though, because IPOs, well, they're a tricky bunch, Joey.
Yeah.
2 o'clock,
2
leave me with a
o'clock,
thought,
yeah.
baby.
A little bit of a choppy session for your boy, but other than that, Shreve had a great session. The boys in the back had a great session. I'm happy for that. Oh, and my guy, Party P, racked in 12 bans today off of those calls. And I'm like, dude, I didn't know about NVDA getting back up to 180, but I'm glad that started to print for you, and same with No Nonsense. I'm glad that you guys all had monstrous days, and I hope you do the exact same thing tomorrow.
All right, we're going to pause for a second. Adara, she's got breaking news.
TXN just had a pop here. We know that there's been that Goldman Sachs Communicopia conference happening. We have the CEO of Texas Instruments commenting here saying that their data